pricing after $20 in monthly bill credits plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Sacramento Kings basketball is back. Be there for opening night at Golden One Center on Friday, October 24th, when the Kings take on the Utah Jazz at 7 p.m. Following opening night, the Kings will take on the LA Lakers on October 26th and then the Golden State Warriors on November 5th. Don't miss these marquee matchups and more great games coming to Golden One Center this season. Head to kings.com/tickets to secure your seat to be part of the action.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter, so who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Balsam Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Yes. On a Monday, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass for us, as always. And it has been quite the weekend. Quite the weekend indeed. We are getting you ready. We are just a couple days away from Kings basketball. We're only a day away from the NBA starting back up and tipping back off. And we have another outstanding Monday, by the way. You know I love these Mondays. To me, these are obviously not extensions of the weekend, because clearly I'm on the air right now, not at a pumpkin patch, and you are most likely at work. But when you get, I don't even know what the other game is, Kyle, to be honest with you. All I care about is Seahawks Buccaneers. That's all I care about. Oh, no, excuse me.
They're not even playing.
Buccaneers Lions. That's all I care about. What's the other? Oh, yeah. Seahawks Texans.
Off
That's
to
the
a
other
great
one.
start
That's
here.
right. Seahawks Texans, Buccaneers Lions, a game 7 in the ALCS. That's how you avoid a case of the Mondays. So we have all of that for you today. Obviously, we're talking Kings and Domantas Sabonis. The reports are that he will miss the first week of NBA action. He'll be out when the Kings kick off their season on Wednesday. He'll be out when the Kings come back home on Friday. So where do the Sacramento Kings go from here? Is it a Drew Eubanks situation? Do they go small? I don't know how much smaller you can get at this point, but we will break down what the Kings can do to avoid dropping some games that they really can't afford to drop. That's the other part of this. Right, you really can't lose these, and this is no disrespect to the Suns, who, by the way, they put out a list of the highest earners in the history of the NBA. Kyle's boy, who's won absolutely nothing, Devin Booker, is number 4 on the list already. This new money, this Gen Z money, is quite ridiculous. So he's number 4 on that list, and he gets a chance to show why he's worth all that money against the Sacramento Kings on Wednesday.
The Damian Lillard path is quite underrated.
It's insane. He learned from Paul George, and Paul George, you know, it's funny. It's almost as if, I don't know who had more success because Devin Booker went to a finals, but it feels like Paul George had more, not opportunities, but had more history in the playoffs, battling LeBron with the Pacers, all of that. So both of them are cashing out, right? Both of them are cashing out. And Kevin Durant, the reason this came out is because Kevin Durant just shot to the top of the list as he agreed to 2 more years in Houston. This brother is a vampire. He will not go away. So the Suns will look to do battle with the Kings to start out the season. That's on Wednesday. Then the Kings host the Utah Jazz, and that's on Friday. Look, man, and I tell people all the time, people always get on me. They hit me up when I'm walking. Allen, you always do too much. You always take things too far. I'm willing to say that these two might be must-wins. I am willing to say that. And it's only because when you look at what the West is, you have to win these games. So you're going to have to figure out a way to. The Suns is a tougher one, obviously. You're in Club Phoenix, and the Suns aren't terrible, but they're not going to have Jalen Green. So that's that. Then the Jazz Kings, that goes without saying. You have to win that game. So we will get you ready. We are heading towards the NBA season. It's finally here. It's finally upon us. And this is what we were all waiting for. Like I mentioned, Game 7 tonight. I feel so bad for my friends that are Mariners fans. What a weird series, man. You talk about a wave of emotions. We've dealt with it out here in Sacramento before. I would say the wave of emotion back in, 2023 with the Beam team, that's one thing. I'd also say there was a wave of emotion that next season when you beat the brakes off the Warriors. And then you get to go to New Orleans, who, no disrespect, I know Carmichael Davis said they got a nice arena down there in New Orleans and a lot of passionate fans, but this ain't the Saints. This ain't LSU, right? You get to go to New Orleans, which if you were to pick a venue to go to, I would assume that New Orleans would be high on that list, right? Oh, it's not this scary, you don't got to go to Denver. You don't got to go to anywhere like that, Boston, anything like that. You get to go to New Orleans, take on the Pelicans with no Zion. You're sitting there thinking, all right, the roller coaster, baby. We're back. We're going to get back into the playoffs, and just so the Thunder can beat the brakes off us, but at least we're going to get there. And then the Kings don't do it. So Sacramento, they are used to the waves, right? We are used to the waves when you're thinking, all right, we're locked in, and then all of a sudden you're not locked in. So the Mariners win 2 on the road. 2 on the road. They come back, and in baseball, it's 2-3-2, which you got to remember because in basketball, obviously, it's 2-2-1-1-1. So you're up. There's no way, in my opinion, you could have let that thing get back to Toronto. You were up. Or at least, you had 3 out there, right? You're up 2-0. You go to Seattle, drop 2 out of 3 in Seattle. You still are up 3-2. And then you lose in Toronto. Vladdy Jr. is proving to be the nightmare for the Mariners. And now we have a situation where I don't know, maybe the Mariners get it done. Maybe they'll feel a little bit more comfortable. This is an interesting one, Kyle, because I'm not really sure who has the pressure. We talk so much about pressure mounting. And normally I like to say the home team has a level of pressure, but the Blue Jays, they were the higher seed, but you came back from down 2-0. You came back from down 3-2. So some of it is on the Mariners for blowing it. This is a pretty even setup between the Mariners and the Blue Jays. I don't know. And if you talk about momentum, obviously the Blue Jays have the momentum. So this is a very, very tricky situation. And I just feel bad for, shout out West Coast, of course. I feel bad for my friends that are Mariners fans because I don't know, man. Anything could happen, but it don't look good.
See, I disagree. I just think it's going to be a great game. Like, at the end of the game yesterday, the Fox broadcast flashed up a stat that said home teams in Game 7s are 30-29. I was like, that's basically 500.
Is that okay? And I don't want to get too caught up on that, but that's a really good call, Kyle, because we are out of the summer. It is fall. I had some kettle corn. We had some apple cider, all of that. But this is a very good, let's bookmark this for next summer, where home court, home field manage it or means the least, because normally that's a staple for me in the summer, but we had so much Kuminga talk.
I mean, yeah.
We had no time.
We were so busy
all
this
these
summer.
people talking about, there was nothing to talk about this summer. We didn't have time to do best video games growing up. We didn't have time to do any of our King of the Mountain lists. There was so much to talk about with the Kings. Russell Westbrook, Kuminga.
Malik Monk trades.
This is why you got to, Malik Monk, Dennis Schroeder. This is why you got to listen to the Allen Stiles Show. I will never, ever come on these airwaves and tell you there's not much going on. Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
There's so much happening all the time, Alan.
Why would I do that? That's called, as the great Bomani Jones said, that's hustling backwards. I would never hustle backwards for myself. You spend your time to turn your dial to Sactown Sports 1140 between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm going to tell you, there is so much going on in Major League Baseball, in the NBA, in the NFL, you cannot miss, okay? And this time, I'm being legit about it because there's a ton going on right now.
Not only is there a Game 7 tonight, you're either going to have the Toronto Blue Jays, which, by the way, I was looking at the numbers. Basically, they're putting up NFL numbers in terms of ratings in Canada right now for baseball. Like, the country's 35 million people. They're putting up like 7 million views, basically, on these games.
It's a national team, essentially.
Yeah. So you've got Toronto, who could go to the World Series for the first time in 32 years tonight, or the Mariners, which I couldn't believe it when they said this on the broadcast yesterday, have never been this close to the World Series ever.
Yeah.
They have never been one game away from the World Series in their entire 50-year history. So, and by the way, I don't think momentum's on either side. Like, yes, the Blue Jays with, Yesavage killed it yesterday, but the Mariners in Game 5 stole the momentum back with one big dumper home run, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, now the Mariners fought back and got a gritty win at the end. They could totally do that again tonight.
Yeah,
so
we don't know.
Total coin toss.
We don't know what's going to happen. So that's what's going on in Major League Baseball. Also, real quick, every time I go to a pumpkin patch, some type of news breaks. So last week, I'm at the pumpkin patch. Keegan, and it isn't always good, but last week I'm at the pumpkin patch. Keegan Murray news broke. Keegan's going to be out for first couple months here. I was at the pumpkin patch, didn't know what was going on. This week I'm driving to Fog Willow, and shout out to everybody who said, Alan, go check out Fog Willow. It's a little bit closer and not as crazy as Apple Hill. We had a great time. We had an outstanding time. So we went to there was a maze. There was a lot of great stuff. So I'm pulling up to Fog Willow, and I get a text, and someone says, Giants going college. Giants going college. What? You know what I mean? We just parked. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And Tony Vitello, who I am the most equipped Giants media member to talk about it, because I'm the only one that's been watching Tennessee baseball for the last 5 years from San Francisco, Bay Area, Northern California. So my worlds are colliding here, and I'm pulling up to Fog Willow. And the report comes out from The Athletic that the Giants are closing in on Tony Vitello. It would be unprecedented. If you're wondering when's the last time a coach from college has made the jump to Major League Baseball, I will tell you this. The answer is never. The only time it's happened, it's been with coaches that were previously attached to organizations. Dick Hauser, back, I think that was in the 70s. He was with the Yankees, went to Dave's school, Florida State, then went back to the Yankees. But a Steve Kerr, J.J. Redick situation, which is not even the same because Tony Vitello didn't play in Major League Baseball. So we have not seen anything like this. There are a couple interesting notes that we are keeping an eye on. A lot of people are wondering, why hasn't it broken yet? Why isn't it official yet? You got to buy him out of his Tennessee contract. He's making $3 million. It would mean a lot for him to leave, because I'm telling you right now, it's a legit situation he's got over there in Knoxville. But there's 4 guys from the University of Tennessee in the Giants organization right now. You have Drew Gilbert, who is in the league. Then you have 3 other guys that are top 30 prospects in the Giants farm system. So clearly, I just didn't expect Buster Posey to be into bat flips and aura. That tells me that Buster was kind of faking all these years so Madison Bumgarner would not get upset. That's what it tells me. So we don't know what's going to happen. If you are worried about why it hasn't broken yet, last note on that, Tim Kawakami kind of alluded to this. It's very typical within the leagues to not break news when there is a series going on, specifically a Game 7. So if you're worried about why the news hasn't broken yet, I'll tell you this much. Don't be worried unless it doesn't break tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day where this thing, to me, would be squirrely. It might break today anyway. But if it doesn't break tomorrow when there's no games going on, that would be a problem. So we got everything you need on that. You have a report from Mark Stein, which this is no disrespect. Would love to have Mark Stein on the show. A report saying Devin Carter's days are dwindling. Very confused as to how this is a report when Devin Carter has been in trade talks. Literally, again, our superb summer. So much is going on this summer. Devin Carter has been in trade talks since before I became a father of two. So I don't know where this is a new report thing happened and people are reacting. Man, the Kings are just messed up another guard. That's what's going on here. He's been in trade talks this whole time. You know what I did see, though? A Laker fan. And the comment was, man, he got to be better than Dalton Connect. Well, let's see. How about let's see?
We would love that.
We would love to at least see. But there were also more reports on Dalton Connect. It's just bad, man. There are more reports saying that it's just the Brock Purdy thing, his processing just isn't there. And that's part of the reason the Lakers are unable to kind of find a spot for him and why his value continues to drop. So the Devin Carter stuff we'll touch on, but if you've been listening to this show or if you live in Sacramento, you probably are not surprised that Devin Carter's name is out there. It's been out there the whole time. The Niners, man, oh man, oh man. You know what? Going back to Dragon Ball Z, what was it? The sensu beans? When you would eat a sensu bean?
No idea.
It's before Kyle's time. When Goku would, he'd be struggling, right? He would eat a sensu bean, and then he would be even stronger. It's like every time the Niners lose one of their best players, they just get better. They just continue to get better as they lose their best players. I don't know how they're doing it. Part of me is giving kudos to the Niners, but part of me is feeling the same way about the Falcons that I felt about the Jaguars. We can talk about the parity in the NFL, but there are still classes. And the Niners are still in a different class than the Falcons and the Jaguars. Now you can lose games, don't get me wrong, but you have the Niners, you have the Chiefs, you have the Eagles. I'd put the Lions in there, teams like that. And then you got the upstart teams. Can you turn the corner? The Jaguars, they beat the Bills again. Primetime game. They beat the Bills. The Jaguars have not won a game since, and they just got their butts whooped by the Rams. They were 4-1 after they beat the Chiefs. After
Trevor Lawrence stumbled into the end zone to beat the Chiefs.
After they beat the Chiefs, they were 4-1. The Jaguars, since beating the Chiefs, are 4-3. Okay, the Falcons, the Bijan show against the Bills. Maybe it says more about the Bills because Keon Coleman is terrible. Okay, and they just don't have a wide receiver, and they have a bad defense. So you have the Falcons, primetime game. Josh Allen running all over the place. The Falcons just put a hurting on them. Okay. Well, can you go to and the Jags, they had lost to another NFC West team. They lost to the Seahawks last week, now lost to an NFC West team on their home field out there in London. They lose, so they get the brakes beat off them against the Rams, and the Rams didn't even have Puka. So now the Falcons, okay, you beat the Bills. All right, Falcons turn the corner, NFC South. Can you handle the Bucks? Can you play with the big dogs? Okay, they're talking about Diablo, who is missing on the defense for the Falcons. Are you serious? Are we really doing that on the and they weren't making excuses. They just said, yeah, it's really hard for the Falcons to stop this run. They're missing Diablo on the defensive side of the ball. Do we have to go through who the Niners are missing? Because I feel like we don't have to. Again, there's levels to this, and we can talk about parity for entertaining games. But ultimately, these teams, until they prove that they can consistently hang with the big boys, they're not it. Michael Penix, I love, oh my goodness, look how the ball just pops off of his arm. Cool. You lost. And by the way, am I a little salty? Is Schmal and Miles a little salty that they spammed Christian McCaffrey all game? Just absolutely didn't have to throw the football or hand the football to anyone else? Maybe a little, because the Falcons just said, oh, you guys are going to do the Bijan thing. The original Bijan, dare I say, Christian McCaffrey. Oh, you guys are going to do that to us, and we can't really do anything about it. Kyle Shanahan said, I want to run the ball 40 times. I want to run the ball 40 times. And not only is that on the offensive side of the ball, that's also on the defensive side of the ball because we have to make sure that we're in that position. Drake London, no show. They just kept throwing the ball under to Kyle Pitts. That's all they could do. So there's levels to this, and I'm giving the Niners their credit. But there's also just a level of these teams that we keep wanting to see. Can you get over the hump and show that you can go on a little run? Just go on a little run. No, you cannot. So the Niners once again prove that they could be duct taped, bubble gum, paper mache together, and they're still going to be a team coming off their best win of the season?
I'd say that or the Cardinals one.
Well, I guess the Cardinals were good at that time.
But they also should have lost that game. Like, the Cardinals had them beat, and they kind of stole it at the end. So I'd say probably that one.
So you beat Josh Allen, prime time. Everyone's going to say, okay, Falcons, I'm paying attention now. Now you get 2 prime timers, and then you lay an egg. Then you lay an absolute egg. And the idea, again, and shout out to Robert Saleh, the defensive crew on that fourth and one out to Drake London. They said that they had practiced and watched film, and they knew exactly what the Falcons were going to do. And that's just that type of stuff. You cannot be that obvious with what you're doing. But this is less about the Falcons, as we are the Sacramento home of your San Francisco 49ers. This is about the Niners. And I tell you what, I spun the block, and he's a Seahawks fan, my buddy. And I said, hey, man, remember, because he texted me. I was on my way to Bel Air after the show. And he texted me. It's him and his brother. We've known each other for years. They were both at my wedding. I was in both of their weddings. And he said, Allen, and he's a Seahawks fan, granted. Allen, I can't believe you said take the 10.5 for the Niners. I cannot believe you said that, Allen. That sounds ridiculous. You're just turning into a homer. I'm a Raider fan, but you're turning into a homer, all this stuff. You know what I did this morning? I shot him a text. I said, hey, buddy old pal, how about that 10.5, huh? You know what he tried to say to me? He said, well, the Niners just had their easiest part of their lineup, or easiest part of their schedule. Brother, they still have the Browns.
It's all easy.
And I know the Panthers look better. The Browns, the Panthers, the Titans. I know the Giants have been playing better, and they're getting the cavalry back. George Kittle just blocked yesterday.
I will say, in your friend's defense, the 49ers do have to go on the road to play the best team in the NFL at some point this season, which is Daniel Jones' Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, that's an L. They can still get to the 10. They can still get to 11.
Do you know how funny it is that the number one offense in the NFL is Jim Bob Cooter and Daniel Jones's Indianapolis Colts?
And it looks legit when you watch.
Yes, they're really good.
Legit.
It's crazy. It's the funniest thing ever. They have the best record in the NFL and the number one offense. It's the funniest possible outcome of this season.
Yeah, it looks legit. I still don't know what to do with it. I was watching Unsportsmanlike on the 4-Letter Network this morning. That's kind of my new go-to, simply because it starts at, I think, 3 a.m. our time. So that's normally my rotation with baby number 2. So I'll catch the beginning and then crash out.
Just to help out, is that a radio show?
It's a radio show that they put on TV.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a radio show that they put on TV.
I'm so out on ESPN radio. I don't even know what they call it anymore.
It's a radio show, but there's a camera, and they play it on TV until Get Up starts, pretty much.
Got it.
So that's where I've been watching that, because I'm up at around 4 a.m. for my cycle, and I'll catch the first 30, 40 minutes, and then I'll get relieved and go pass out and wake up and get ready for the show. So, they were talking about just who is the best team in the AFC right now. And Canty essentially said, I think it's the Colts. I don't have a choice but to say it's the Colts.
Okay, so I will caveat this. It is the Colts, while also acknowledging that if they had to play Kansas City, they would probably lose.
Probably.
Does that make sense? Like, the Colts are the best team, but if they went head-to-head against the Chiefs, they will probably lose.
But that's been the same thing with all these, in my opinion. That's been the Ravens. That's been the Bills. That's how I felt about all these. The Bengals. But the Bengals will get them.
They beat them again. They beat them the next year.
That's how it's always been in the AFC. So just remove the Chiefs. And by the way, I can't. I know what you
finally reminded you.
I know what you did there.
You'd blocked out what had happened to the Raiders.
No, I'm not even. They don't even get to close out the opening segment here, because the opening segment is so important to lay out the next 4 hours. But if I must, I'll talk about how I almost lost my breakfast and my lunch watching the Raiders waste everybody's time, including my own. I know Baby Styles, number one, she's got a Raider onesie. I might throw it away.
Yeah, do it.
I might throw
Burn
it away.
it.
916-339-1140. Phone lines open all day for you as we're getting ready for the Kings. How worried are you that the Kings are going to let this thing slip away before it even gets started? Who should start in place of Domantas Sabonis? You want to go small? You want to go big? You want to go a double-double, single-double, whatever from in and out? Let me know. 4 hours with you. And we're still giving away an opportunity to go to the Kempton Sawyer. And the Kings taking on the Thunder. And, of course, $200 to Revival. Don't move. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
I found out that one of my players was vaping, and I said, hey, right now's the time to be honest with me. He said almost everybody in my team was vaping. The next day, all the parents came in. I said, how many of you guys think that your kids are vaping? Not one of them raised their hand. There's a joint fight to make something better. We don't sit back and let it happen.
Coach Sanchez is exposing Big Tobacco's playbook. Learn how he and other Californians are beating Big Tobacco at undo.org.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
4 hours with you at 12 o'clock. Sactown Sports is giving you a chance to win a pair of lower-level seats to the Sacramento Kings versus OKC on November 7th, a one-night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer, and $200 gift card to Revival. Downtown Sacramento's social hotspot. Enjoy elevated vibes, stylish crowd, and the perfect view of the beam after a Kings win over the defending NBA champions. Text in today's keyword to 916-339-1140 now for your chance to win. Now, as in 12 p.m., because you don't have that code yet.
All right, Ron Burgundy.
But you will have that code at 12 p.m. And it's an easy one, even for those that aren't great at spelling. This one is an easy one.
If you remember Dave's one, you can still text that in.
Okay, so can they do that? Because I said no.
I think that's how it works. I don't know for sure.
Okay, because I said no.
I got to ask promotions how they set it up.
Okay, 916.
Is it only for the hour or the whole thing?
916-339-1140 if you want to talk Kings as well. 916 says, it was the Jonathan Kuminga show featuring Allen Stiles. Oh, man, what a summer. The summer of Jonathan Kuminga. It was a great time, 916.
Kuminga and Illegal Fisherman.
That's right. You know it was a great time. So what wasn't a great time was watching the Raiders play football yesterday. And
Senor Segway strikes again.
And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because they don't deserve it. This is we got however many watts this show. I got people coming up to me from really the Bay Area too, and people will text me. I had an old family friend, and they said, "Alan, I was listening to you a couple days ago." I said, "Were you out in Sacramento?" No, I was in the Bay. Your signal comes in better than some of the Bay Area stations, so we appreciate wherever you're listening, and yeah, we're very thankful for it. But with that being said, as far as the Raiders are concerned, I mean, I wish that I didn't have. By the way, I didn't. The beginning of Raiders Chiefs for me was in Spanish. The first half was all in Spanish.
Wait, what?
Yeah, on YouTube TV, the first half was all in Spanish.
That's very strange.
Yeah, and somebody said, "Oh, is it because you're watching on NFL Ticket?" No, I told y'all I didn't pay for NFL Ticket this year, but it was all in Spanish until the second half.
Just on CBS.
Yes, until the second half.
By the way, I don't know if you saw this too, but on Red Zone, the start of the Panthers and Jets game sounded like it was on an AM radio feed.
Yeah, that's what somebody said.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but we were just listening in and we're like, is this us? Like, what's happening? It sounds like it literally, like, if you're driving under a bridge right now and listening to this show, it sounded like what an AM radio feed sounded like. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, so, yeah, we got too much to talk about today to spend time on the atrocious Raiders.
Disagree, Alan.
And you know what? I mean, there might be, we were talking about the Giants and how they've, kind of gone through the San Francisco Giants, have they gone through some coaches and they really want to nail this new manager because there's been a little turnover there. I mean, that's just a day in the life for the Raiders because they're going to have to move on from Pete Carroll. Okay? They're going to have to move on from Pete Carroll. This is what Pete Carroll had to say. Quote, "This was a game that I didn't see coming." Well, Pete, the rest of us did. He says, "I couldn't imagine that the guys that weren't able to play in this game would make that much of a factor."
Excuse?
What a crazy statement to say out loud. We got to get our guys back and we got to play the game well. look, man, I tried to talk myself, and this is what every fan will do, tried to talk myself into Geno Smith, tried to talk myself into Pete Carroll, and I'm not doing it anymore. I didn't think it made a ton of sense then, even with Tom Brady at the helm. They just, again, we talk about the Kings refusing to say uncle. This is the epitome, right? We're going to go get a coach on a timeline that makes no sense. We're going to go get a quarterback, and the Geno thing is fine, but we have no backup. When the game is out of order, we got to watch Kenny Pickett. We don't even get to watch, the Dolphins have stunk. They get to watch Quinn Ewers for whatever it's worth. All these teams stink. They get to watch their young guys and at least give some sort of hope. We get to watch Kenny Two Gloves Pickett,
who they gave up a pick for.
Yeah, that's who we get to watch. So it's a complete nightmare. I feel bad for Raiders fans. I said this last week. They are close to damaging the brand. They are legitimately close to damaging the brand. I know fans are diehard and they'll never leave, but they are legitimately close to damaging the brand. That's how bad it is for the Raiders because people are just tired of it. Life is hard enough, man. People want to complain in California about the price of gas and all that. I gotta work my hard-earned job, whatever that may be. I'm not saying me because I enjoy my job, but you got to work your hard-earned job, whatever it may be, right? Then you got to come home and watch that garbage. Some people are just going to say, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it. Not to say you're going to jump ship like Kyle did and go to the Chiefs, but maybe you're just not a fan of the team anymore. Maybe I'm just not paying attention.
Oh, best decision I've ever made in my life.
I'm just not going to give you that energy. So I'm not giving the Raiders any more energy. What a complete nightmare. What a complete disaster. Luckily, I also had Vikings-Eagles, so I was able to at least watch a legitimate NFL game. You had Mahomes. And you know what? They did it on purpose. They literally pulled Mahomes in the third quarter. That was on purpose because that type of stuff just doesn't happen, right? You don't pull guys out in the third quarter typically, and they did. And it just was a complete disaster, man. A complete disaster. And for Pete to say, I didn't see this coming, we all did. Gardner Minshew, who, last I checked, was on the Raiders. That was the last time they tried to do the in-between thing. So I know I don't have to tell anybody how to feel about them because it was a nightmare. But Garrett wants to be a part of the conversation and wants to talk a little bit of Raiders. What's up, Garrett? What you got for us?
Oh man. I have to tell you, your take just now is how I've been feeling for the past 20 years. And it's like every year I'm shocked that the coach that we've hired has done this. What I don't understand is how is it that it's almost like it's a prerequisite for when you're becoming a front office employee for the Raiders that you have a certain set of checklists that you need to meet. Okay, it'll be 3rd and 20. What are you going to do? Oh, well, we're going to do a little, a minus 3-yard pass with absolutely no blocking and get maybe a yard. And that's what we're going to do. Oh, perfect answer. You're hired. How do you not see this coming as an NFL head coach? Like how is that an excuse?
I have no clue, Garrett, and thanks for the call. You brought up a good point, Garrett, because this was what was crazy to me. Before we even got there, right, the Chiefs are up, okay? It was before they put up, I can't remember if it was a touchdown. It was like 20-something to nothing.
It was probably a touchdown.
It was 20-something to nothing in the third, and this is not the first time we've seen this with the Raiders. It's 20-something to nothing in the third. The Raiders come out, and they run 2 run plays. Like, why are we wasting everyone's time? Just sit, Ashton Genty. Just say, hey, we're gonna put you in a box until next season. Because what are we actually doing? That's what I don't understand. To me, it's just a lack of competitiveness. It's an embarrassment to the game. It's an embarrassment to the Shield. It's an embarrassment to the brand. To go out there, you're down 24-0, whatever it is, and you run 2 two running plays to Genty right up the gut. No, Chip Kelly. I thought this was your thing, brother. I thought you were Mr. Inventive. You were the offensive genius before we actually knew what offensive geniuses were. I thought you were going to do something new. Two plays, it's just as if they just packed it in, and they've done it time and time again. They continue to just embarrass themselves, and they beat the Titans, who stink. Okay, this is monumental. After they beat the Patriots, they got the brakes beat off them against the Chargers, 20-9, 41-24 by the Commanders. But wait. And he's out again, Jaden Daniels. That's and I try to tell y'all about Jaden Daniels and how squirrely he. I try to tell y'all he gets cracked. But anyway, Mariota handled you 41-24. You barely lost to the Bears. I guess that was a good game. Then you get embarrassed. I guess it's not so bad because it's the best team in the AFC. 40-6. Again, this is not basketball, right? This is not basketball. The Raiders they have to be the one team, because at least the teams that do stink, like the Titans, guys like that, the Titans and other teams, they are keeping their guys in, right? Because they're trying to get better. They're young. And I almost remember specifically, Pete did not pull them against the Commanders because that was when we need to get reps, right? Gino needs reps. We all need reps. Brother, he's like 30. Okay, but I guess we need reps.
35.
He's like 35. So they should have pulled them against the Commanders, but they didn't. They have gone 2 games now where the starters have not played the fourth quarter. This is not basketball. Like, that doesn't happen in the NFL.
They pulled Mahomes in the third quarter. I've never seen that before. The Chiefs pulled Mahomes in the third quarter.
Yeah. Garrett, great stuff. Like I said, I'm not spending too much time on it. I already spent too much. We're moving forward. Let's talk about some good football. Let's talk about the Niners and the Christian McCaffrey game. It wasn't his Bowie Miles game, but it was dang near close. Let's talk about McCaffrey, and we start to move into some Kings talk as well. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Tell me, Chad, what's happening for the Drive into Fall event?
There's still time to get some adventure in when you save up to $8,600 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Willys. I love how these modern Jeep Wrangler Willys are filled with the latest and greatest tech and comforts, yet pay homage to the iconic past of the Jeep with huge off-road capability, distinctive exterior styling, and special interiors you will love.
Man, you make it sound like you're buying a modern-day piece of history.
It's It's true. Once you get into one of the Willies, you won't want to get out. But whatever you're looking for, you can find it at Hoblet. Check out our certified pre-owned supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000.
Whatever you need, it's at Hoblet right now. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
8,600 toll net savings on select new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Willie after 4,000 factory rebates and 4,600 dealer discounts. Rebates include 500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. 3 net savings. Sample VIN 608-744. See dealer for details.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It's the energy all around you. Lightning and the thunder. The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
The greatest show on dirt returns to Stockton Dirt Track. October 31st and November 1st. It's the 42nd annual tribute to Gary Patterson. 2 nights of all-out racing to the finish, crowning the 2025 champions on dirt. Tickets now at StocktonDirtTrack.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
The Niners continue to rock and roll. Next man up. They are the epitome of next man up. And the Falcons, a little bit of momentum there. The Niners just lost Fred Warner. They got handled a little bit by the Bucs. It was a close game, but you lose Fred Warner. An emotional week for the Niners. The Falcons, this is your best chance. I know you're on the road, but this is your best chance to get it done. And they just got Christian McCaffrey. That was it. They got Christian McCaffrey. Mac Jones was just there doing a little bit of cardio. Okay, 152 yards. He threw an interception. The Falcons could not take advantage. Then at the end, I thought the game, Kyle, was completely flipped. That was a very old school Niners game. We're going to control the game with our run flow. And George Kittle, I don't even think he got a target. I don't think George Kittle ran a route. I don't know if he ran. I think I remember seeing him run one route.
I also remember him running the route as a decoy to throw to Christian McCaffrey on 3rd down.
Yeah.
It's just like George Kittle was just not even a part of the offense.
And I've joked with Niner fans when when Travis Kelce was in his heyday, when Niner fans wanted to say George Kittle was better than him. And the main thing that they would say is the blocking. And because you're a Niners fan, George Kittle is better because he's a better blocker than Travis Kelce. That was always the argument. But I will say this. Last night was probably your best argument for that because George Kittle being back and obviously the Falcons missing Diablo where the Niners are missing half of their roster, half of their payroll.
Diablo must be like primed to force Buckner.
I think that's all I heard last night, right? Well, they're missing Diablo. They can't stop the run. Well, also on top of that, George Kittle, one of the best blocking tight ends really in the history of the game, George Kittle went to work. And everybody else just got to chill, right? Everybody else just got to relax. Kendrick Bourne got to chill, right? Schmal and Miles' parlays got to chill because it was just all Christian McCaffrey. And I think the game turned on that fumble to me because the Niners, this was very prototypical of the Niners during their deep Super Bowl runs where they control the game and they're playing from in front. Right? Kyle Shanahan said, I want to run the ball 40 times, and you can only run the ball 40 times if you are in control. Brian Robinson even got a good amount of yards last night. You can only do that if you are controlling things, not just offensively, but defensively. And when they forced that fumble on Penix Jr., who I have no clue if Michael Penix Jr. is good or not. I have not decided. I'm just confused when I watch him. I really am. But he fumbles it, and that's right before halftime. They were about to put some points on the board. I think they could have tied it up at that point in time. And so it was 3-10, okay? And going into halftime, they could have tied it up at 10. They could have done something, and they didn't. Right? They were not able to do it. It was 3-10. I'm trying to remember.
I believe so.
Because they didn't score in that minute. They just let it run out. The Niners did.
Yes.
So weird game for the Falcons, but more importantly, it wasn't a weird game. It was the Niners just imposing their will. And you look here at the highlights, and it's just all Christian McCaffrey. Most running, obviously the most rushing yards. He had 72 receiving yards. Receiving yards.
Leading target getter on the team. Cooked my Kendrick Bourne prop talk, but
yeah,
leading
everybody. They threw to Jennings like twice, and that was it.
Jennings actually had 7 targets.
Yeah.
Bourne 2, Sky Moore 1.
That Sky Moore, he ain't even on prop talk no more.
No.
Sky Moore with a 10-yard screen. That's how you know Kyle Shanahan was feeling himself. A Sky Moore screen that actually worked, and we will never see Sky Moore again.
Yeah, the tight end that doesn't catch, Luke Farrell had a catch.
And this is why, I'm almost about to ban these primetime games. Primetime games, they always try to do some random stuff. That's what I'm telling you.
I promise you, Schmal and Miles will not be banning primetime games.
That's also true.
You don't even got to fake it.
Yeah, first player in NFL history with 50 or more rushing yards and 50 or more receiving yards in 6 of the team's first 7 games. That's what Christian McCaffrey did. And again, I know out of all of the injuries the Niners have faced, who would have thought that Christian McCaffrey would have bounced back like this? All of the fantasy owners, me personally, I had a first pick. I took Jamar Chase, and that's coming back around. But nobody even was talking about Christian McCaffrey to be taken this high because everybody was so worried about what they just saw. And I don't know if he took another secret trip to Germany or what, but he looks looks like he turned back the clock 3-4 years.
Yeah, I saw, I think it was on Scott Van Pelt, they put up like Christian McCaffrey's rankings in fantasy football over the years, and it's literally like RB2, RB1, RB2, RB64 because he was hurt, RB2, RB68 because he was hurt, RB2, RB70 because he was hurt, and then this year he's right back to the top. Like the thing with Christian McCaffrey has just always been the injuries, and he's playing right now as good as he did in Carolina. They had him out running routes on 3rd and 14 and looking off linebackers in order to make completions. Like, Christian McCaffrey is playing as good as he has ever played in his career, and that is remarkable given the mileage he has on his body and the team that's been constructed around him. He's not supposed to have to work this hard in order to succeed on this team, but he is, and they're winning.
And that is interesting. The one thing you would say about Kyle Shanahan is he likes to, again, if this was a video game, he likes to spam the same move. Now, when the move is working, now I remember back in the day, Street Fighter, okay? Chun-Li in Street Fighter, she would punch with her hand, and if you kept pressing the button, she would just go crazy, right? The hand, you couldn't stop it. So if I was playing my little sister or somebody, I would spam that move. And, not all the time, but, you got to do what you got to do if you want to win. And last night, that was what Kyle Shanahan had to do. The reason I'm not freaking out about it and the usage for McCaffrey, even though the usage has been crazy, is because Kyle Shanahan knew this was a specific game. And that was more Brian Robinson that we had seen all season long. So he tried, right? It was tough, but he tried. And they tried to mix things up. The reality was they felt that without Diablo, the Niners were going to be able to run the football, and that's exactly what they were able to do. So I know a lot of people are worried about, oh my goodness, how are they going to be able to survive like that? They're not going to continue to do that every single game. Okay? They're not going to do that every single game, but last night they thought, this is how we want to win. We want to keep the ball out of the Falcons' hands. This is from David Lombardi looking forward now. Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall are set for returns next week. they'll join George Kittle, and the 49ers will have their legit shot to make this offense elite. So now you're going to get Brock back. Now you're going to get Ricky Pearsall back. You just got George Kittle. I'm fascinated to see what this looks like when you get more specifically Brock. Feels like we haven't seen Brock in a very long time. But you're going to get your starter. You're going to get your wide receiver one right now with Brandon Ayuk still out. So, and you're about to face, the good thing is when you talk about jumping in the pool, the Niners, because of their schedule, they don't really, I guess, Texans is kind of jumping in the pool. You got to go to Houston, but it's DeMeco. There's some familiarity. Could be better, could be worse. You're going to get the Texans on the road. You're going to get the Giants on the road, which I think is a bit spicier than we initially thought. Then you host the Rams. Then after that, I don't know, maybe Kyler will be back. And then you have that 3-game stretch or 4-game if you count the Cardinals. You get through these 3 of Texans, Giants, and Rams, and I'm not convinced that the Giants are a good team.
The Giants are just weird.
Yeah. Then after those 3, you go to Arizona. And I know Kyler's been, he gives them a tough time if Kyler's playing. It's I'm not making jokes about anyone being injured, but it's fall. The later we get in the season, you see Kyler Murray less and less. That's typically how it goes. Somebody's going to bring up that Call of Duty's probably about to come out. After that,
this time it was Halo.
Halo, there it is.
Halo dropped, and he has not played since.
You host the Panthers. You go to the Browns, which could be Shador at that point, and you host the Titans. That's 3 games in a row. I mean,
yeah.
Then you get the Colts, who we'll see if they're 9-1 by that point.
The number 1 offense in the NFL.
But this is crazy, man. This is crazy.
I think the way to look at it is the hardest stretch of the Niners' schedule. They went 2-1.
Yeah.
That's positive given all of the injuries that they've had. And look, if they get healthy, I mean, again, how much better can you play than 5-2 if you're the Niners? That's if the Bucks lose tonight, that's the best record in the NFC. So like, how much better can you truly play than 5-2? But they got through the hardest stretch of their schedule, about as good as I think they would have done had they been fully healthy.
Battered.
Yeah.
Absolutely battered. Our guy Ramsey's saying Michael Penix had that intentional grounding. He was at the game to end the first half. Yeah, that was crazy. The fumble, and then you get it back. That's what it was. They fumbled, got it back. The Niners just, hey, we're just going to run it 18 more times. Got it back, and then Penix just with a crazy intentional grounding. You're too old for this. That's what I tell my oldest kid. You're too old for this now. She's 2.5.
Maybe Penix is only in his 2nd year.
He's 28.
Yeah, I know.
He's old enough to be a Kings rookie.
He is, I'm pretty sure, older than Trey Lance at this point, which is hilarious. But I don't know what to do with Penix, man. It's going to be weird to see how this Falcons.
Yeah, he's a stuck in the mud. He was kind of running around yesterday, kind of a stuck in the mud quarterback. Great arm, sure. But, I don't know how – if you're supposed to be a good processor – right? You're an older quarterback, good processor because athletically, I mean, he's very confusing athletically. Always looks like he's about to be injured because he was really injured during his time in college. You can't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't have a fumble and a 10-second and an intentional grounding in the last 3 minutes of a half on the road in San Francisco.
Yeah,
it happened.
The easiest way I can put it is that the Falcons are 3-3 now, and the defense is the strong suit of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No Diablo last night.
No Diablo, that's true. But they're 3-3, and it's not the defense's fault. That's all I can say about Penix.
Speaking of Diablo, I had Taco Bell this weekend, and that Diablo sauce, just give me fire. It's better. Just give me fire. Just give me straight up. And Kyle's going to owe me some more Taco Bell once the Knicks start playing again and Karl Anthony Towns can't get it done for him. 11 o'clock coming up. Speaking of NBA, let's talk some Kings. What did Russell Westbrook have to say in his first media availability? How is he feeling? And the chip on his shoulder. And what can the Kings do without Domantas Sabonis? 916-329-1140. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they're upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 11.
And it says, now this is a story all about Russ, how a visit from Will Smith and an Oscar-worthy fake smile turned Russell Westbrook against LeBron James for good. And it's one of the more insane articles I've ever seen. And I haven't got time to, or I haven't had time yet to read the whole thing. But let me just read you a quick excerpt of it. It sounds fake. Kyle thought it was fake. It's not fake. It's on the Ringer, okay? And it says, Westbrook saw multiple examples of LeBron misrepresenting himself, like claiming The Godfather was his favorite movie, but not knowing a single line, carrying the autobiography of Malcolm X to interviews without being able to discuss it, and even saying he predicted Kobe's 81-point game. These moments made Russ view LeBron as inauthentic. This is real. This is real. So I don't know what to do with that, but I'm going to have a fun time reading the rest of this, and it's incredible. It's literally incredible. So I didn't realize that Russ was beefing with LeBron like this. I knew that there was a Laker thing, and I guess it's all connected to LeBron. But yeah, apparently there is no love lost. There was a time, here it is, he carried the autobiography of Malcolm X into a media session, but stumbled when asked to name his biggest takeaway. I can't even keep a straight face. There was a time during an interview when he claimed that the night Kobe scored 81 points, he predicted beforehand that he'd go for 70, a clip so widely mocked that it became a popular meme. LeBron's reputation for bending the truth was so widespread that he even got teased while appearing in would-be safe spaces. So Westbrook says Westbrook knew LeBron's reputation. He'd seen all the examples of LeBron seemingly misrepresenting himself. There was a time, the Godfather. This is crazy. I'm going to read the rest of this, but insanity. This is the most LA thing I've ever seen in my life. Very, very, and Kyle is trying to read it.
Gosh, this is real?
It's on the Ringer.
And he was done putting up with it. Wow.
Yeah, crazy stuff. All right, Kyle, let's talk Westbrook.
Speaking of Westbrook.
Yeah, let's talk Westbrook on the Kings. This is a cut that I really appreciated from Westbrook's first media availability with the Kings. Here it is.
What intrigues you about this roster?
The doubt that everybody have against us.
What's your assessment of the talent here, how you fit, and what you can do?
Honestly, man, I haven't in practice yet, and I haven't been able to kind of get on the floor, but things will find its way and figure it out. My job is to be able to come here and find ways to be able to help the organization, help the team in any way I can, and I'll do that.
You're in your 18th season. Is it possible this is the last year in the league for you?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
What keeps you going, and what drives you most?
Family. My family, my supporters, the ability to be able to be grateful and blessed to be able to wake up and have limbs and things at work and be able to use them, and using this platform to build other parts of my life and businesses, and just the overall fun I have while playing and enjoying the game. And I think it's something I'd never ever take for granted, and grateful to be able to do that again.
I'm sure you talked to Doug. What is it that Doug is asking from you with this team? What kind of role?
Just be me, and I think that with that is a lot of different things, as simple as it sounds, but definitely being able to instill who I am, values, and different things that I've learned in this league on the roster.
Russ, you've always played with a chip on your shoulder. The way this summer played out,
yeah.
I'm wondering, is there any extra motivation? Because you talk about the people doubting the team, but
yeah.
Obviously you have doubted yourself. Is there any extra motivation in proving that you still have a lot to win?
You know what? To be honest, it's really been like this my whole career, so it's not nothing new, unfortunately. And I'm grateful, and I'm blessed for the doubt, the indecision, the if I can and will play. I know what I'm capable of when given the opportunity, and when the season starts giving opportunity, I'm gonna do what I've always done and go out and compete. And there are gonna be people that love it, there are gonna be people that hate it. That's life for me. I didn't make it 18 years on accident, and I'm grateful to be able to still be here standing and given an opportunity to go out and compete. So I'll do the same thing I've been doing. And yes, the chip has always been on my shoulder. It won't go nowhere until I'm done playing.
I want to ask a question to everybody, and shout out Amid Rock on the chat, who brought this to the forefront. Did anybody go to FanFest? If you went to FanFest, are you feeling any better about the Kings? Because Russ was there. He was, in Kings gear. Everybody, the rookies were singing. Maxime Reynaud, Dylan Cardwell. If you went to FanFest, did it give you a little bit more hope? Obviously, the Kings won, by the way, burying the lead. They won the first preseason game in what feels like half decade on Friday, and it was the young guns. And Keon Ellis had a great game. Nick Clifford had a great game. So that happens. Russ is in the building. The kind of gravity and the aura that he brings. If you went to FanFest, let me know. Are you feeling any better? 916-339-1140. Are you feeling any better about the Kings just being there and being around everything? But as far as what Russ had to say in this clip, it's about a 10-minute clip you can find on our YouTube, and KCRA, a couple places have it. Everybody was there. I find myself a little confused because this is not doesn't feel like a DeMar DeRozan situation. It does not feel like I chose the Kings situation. And everyone's saying, wow, this future Hall of Famer, even though they probably gave him a little bit more money than other teams are willing to give him, this future Hall of Famer is willing to come to Sacramento. Well, he's coming home, but he's willing to come to Sacramento, right? That was the feeling last season. Even if it doesn't directly work, if you get a chance to bring in somebody like DeMar DeRozan to the Kings, to Sacramento, you do it. This really just felt like nobody else was checking for Russ. And he says, I'm grateful. On one hand, I'm grateful that my limbs are still working and all of this. But on the other hand, Jason Anderson kind of, jokingly scoffs at Jason Anderson saying, well, is this your last year? Well, it could have been his last year this year, right? I mean, I don't know what can Russ do to prove to some. Think about the year he had in Denver. What can Russ do to prove to someone, hey, we need Russell Westbrook after what he's done with the Sacramento Kings?
I really want to fire a coach, so let's bring in Russell Westbrook.
And we can just package deal, get him out of here. So I don't really know what to do with it. It felt like Russ was just really thankful for the opportunity, but he's still Russell Westbrook, so he's still, his fans think that he's going to take Schroeder's spot. It's a non-guaranteed contract. I found myself just a bit confused as to what to do with Russell Westbrook on this squad, and I'm just going to wait and see because there's going to be a lot of different transition periods. You got Russell Westbrook joining the team generally. You got Russell Westbrook joining the team, and then Domantas Sabonis is going to come back. Then you have, and that's assuming everybody else stays healthy. Then 20 games down the line, Keegan Murray's going to come back. So this thing is going to look 1,000 different ways, and I am just being I wouldn't say cautiously optimistic or pessimistic. I'm literally just I get on people a lot, because I do this radio show and YouTube show 4 hours a day. And we'll see texts that come in that say, Allen, let's just wait and see. And I've gotten on y'all before to say, well, you can wait and see. I cannot. I got 4 hours to do. I got to react to reality. I got to react to hypotheticals. That's what I do. But in this situation, being a couple days away from game one, I'm literally saying to myself the same way all of you say to me, I got to wait and see because I don't know. He didn't contradict himself. I'm not saying that per se, but I just don't know what to make of any of this.
So it's funny because we went away for the weekend and everyone had their jokes, and I was kind of thinking more about the Westbrook stuff we didn't get to. Mm-hmm. And you touched on something that I remembered, which is over the summer we were having debates like, is there another team interested? Does he have a market? Are the Kings competing for something?
Yeah.
And now we know with 100% certainty, there's nobody out there.
Nobody.
There was nobody out there because he got a non-guaranteed league minimum contract to wear number 18 on the Sacramento Kings, which everyone on the internet was universally agreeing. Never seen a more washed jersey in my life than a Westbrook 18.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is the theme. And I promise you, look, I got to interview these guys. This is not to sound disrespectful at all, right? I got all the respect in the world for these dudes, okay? And the life that they've created for themselves. But Kyle, this is about the fourth person that's come to the Kings who have said, I'm grateful. And you know what I'm grateful kind of stands for? Nobody else was willing to do it. We've heard this 3 times in the last couple years, right? Not Malik. Because Malik, even if it's just one other team, the Pistons, whatever it was, the idea was that Malik chose the Kings. We heard I'm grateful with DeMar DeRozan, right? Yep. And what was the report? Got a little bit more money with the Kings than other places. Love Sacramento, loves to be home, but he got a little bit more money. That's just the truth.
Got one last big payday.
Yes. Second time we heard it was earlier this summer. With who? Dennis Schroeder. I'm grateful somebody trying to give me $15 million a year for 3 years. I know only 2 of them are guaranteed. That's the second time. Oh, excuse me. Yep. I skipped the time. When Zach LaVine, they traded for Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, I'm grateful somebody doesn't think I'm terribly overpaid.
He told Sam Amick before the last game, and I'll never forget this quote. It's like, sometimes it's great to be a place where you are appreciated and wanted, which is essentially saying, place I was at before, they didn't care.
Yeah, everybody keeps talking about how much I'm getting paid.
And trying to trade me.
Even Carmichael Dave in an interview during media day. And
I don't think I'm overpaid. We should just get that as a drop. I don't think I'm overpaid.
We literally, yes, that's your homework. So we have DeMar DeRozan, I'm grateful, or appreciative, either way. DeMar DeRozan, I'm grateful / appreciative that they gave me a little bit more money. Now, he didn't say this, but I'm adding it in, than other places were willing to give me. Zach LaVine, I'm grateful. They are willingly paying me this contract that everyone keeps saying is too much for me, including Carmichael Dave. Dennis Schroeder, I'm grateful. This commitment that they're making to me. I'm just jumping around from place to place.
I've been on 5 teams in 2 years.
And last but not least, the most recent version of it, Russell Westbrook. I'm grateful for the opportunity. This is why people talk about the land of misfit toys type deal, because these guys are, a lot of places didn't want me in this capacity or, this level of me. And everything kind of is relative. People didn't want Russell Westbrook, period. That's not me saying it. I love seeing Russell Westbrook. Truth be told, his number 18, that was my wife's softball number. So I might have to cop her a jersey. So it's not me. This is what the league is telling us. And I don't want Westbrook fans to, to find me, but that's what the league is telling us. So you have a group of individuals that are not much maligned, but a tad maligned in different ways for different reasons. Nobody thinks Zach LaVine's a bad player. They just think he's a little bit overpaid. Nobody thinks that DeMar DeRozan's a bad player. Just kind of seems like his game is from 10 years ago because he was playing 10 years ago. Nobody thinks Dennis Schroeder's a bad player, but it's maybe a larger commitment than others were willing to give him for the number 30 point guard. Nobody thinks Russell Westbrook's a bad player, but they don't really want to deal with what comes out of it. Ringer articles about LeBron lying about watching The Godfather, and Ramona Shelburne articles during playoff runs. People just don't want to deal with it. They're either ready to compete right now, or they're going in the younger direction. So this is the group that we have. We'll see what happens. I do think that they are motivated. I do think that they hear the noise, and DeMar DeRozan told us that. Comes down to, and I would put Domantas Sabonis there too. People think Domantas Sabonis is overpaid. Plenty do. So that's all fine and good. Now they get an opportunity to get out there and shut everybody up. That's just how it goes. It's very simple.
So to your point about them being grateful or, glad this is kind of the last stop on the train kind of situation, I feel like that kind of hits home a bit because that has historically been Sacramento's reputation across the NBA. It is basketball hell. There's a long history of guys dating all the way back to Spud Webb and guys in the 2000s when it was on the decline, to then Zach Randolph's and Vince Carter's and Harrison Barnes, that like your last stop on the way out of the league is usually in Sacramento. It's like the Arizona Cardinals are in the NFL, where like Emmitt Smith's going to go there at the end of his career, or J.J. Watt's going to go there. Like, it's the place that you can go to get a payday at the end of your career. And it felt like for a minute that wasn't the case because you had Sabonis who chose to stay. You know, got here by trade, but chose to sign the extension. Malik chose to stay.
I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel like that with DeMar. It's close. I didn't fully feel like that. It was understood this is probably DeMar's last big payday. So I guess but it wasn't going to be his last team. I guess there's a separate thing. There's last payday, and then there's last stop. And you said last stop. It's not DeMar's last stop, but it was going to be his last legit payday. We did know that.
The Kings are good for both, whichever one you want. The Kings will give you your last payday, Zach Randolph. They will give you your last stop, Vince Carter. Like, the Kings will do anything. It doesn't matter. So it can be last payday, last stop. The Kings will take any and all welcomers, historically speaking, except for that brief window of time where it was like, oh, Sabonis is signing a long-term extension.
Yeah.
Monk is signing a long-term extension and choosing to stay in Sacramento. I think also DeRozan coming as a free agent helped too, because Dave kind of makes the point, like, great players never choose Sacramento. They're forced to come to Sacramento, and then they learn to love Sacramento.
But yes, but in both situations, you have Malik, where it was then reported that Malik did not have, and I mean, I already knew this, but, you know, once it came out, we spoke on it, that Malik did not have as many options as we initially thought, number one. And with DeMar DeRozan, what do you make, 24 a year, nobody else was going to give him 24 a year.
No. The market was telling you what DeMar DeRozan.
That's not false, but there are little caveats that you have to add in as well.
100%. And by the way, the fact that DeRozan came in and they immediately blew it up, like 31 games in, tells me that this was closer to a Zach Randolph than it was to a adding Vlade Divac or adding Chris Webber type of situation. Like, that they were on the decline. De'Aaron Fox was not committing long term, and they didn't really have a pivot, so they were just like, what the heck, DeRozan.
Yeah.
DeRozan's better than Harrison Barnes, right?
Yeah.
That's an upgrade.
I mean, here, and not to belabor the past, but they didn't give it a chance. We still don't know. There's a world, and I will put it to bed after this, but there is a world based on what ended up happening with the Grizzlies and firing their coach, what happened with the Mavs. There is easily a world, and it's going to pain Kings fans, and maybe they already feel like this. And I've actually never said this on the air before. I've actually never really thought about it, besides right now. There's definitely a world where that initial team, De'Aaron Fox, DeMar DeRozan, the crew that they brought in, based on what happened, I will say specifically with the Grizzlies, there's 100% a world where they're the 8 seed last season.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
they don't blow it up.
I mean, they had lost a lot of grace because they would have had to go through the play-in. I mean,
yeah, right. They would have went to the play-in.
Yeah, I mean, they won, 7 in a row with Doug and still ended up 8 games out of the 8 seeds, so they probably would have had to go to the play-in anyways. De'Aaron Fox still had the injury, which in San Antonio, he ended up just shutting it down by the time the season was over. There's definitely a world where they could have gotten in as the 7 or 8 seed. Probably would have been through the same path they had in the play-in round, but I still feel like having Mike Brown as the coach through the end of the season and keeping De'Aaron Fox probably would have led to a more stable outcome, even if you fire Monty McNair and even if you fire Doug at the end, fire Mike at the end of the season.
And I'm not even saying that's something to tip your hat at, right? Getting run out the gym by the Thunder in the first round. I'm saying that this is what they've told us they're shooting for, right? Our goal is to get run out of the building in the first round by the Thunder. Obviously, I'm being facetious.
Now they're not even telling us that anymore.
Obviously, I'm being facetious, but that's kind of what they've told us, because I don't really see a world where they do more than that. Now, it's possible, and I hope it is, because it's good for business. But as we move towards the future and Russell Westbrook and this crew, can they come together and bond over the fact that all of them have some type of issue, right? Some type of issue as far as their NBA narrative. You know what I'm saying? There's a you go to an area of a grocery store, or you can get the food delivered, right? Where you get a little bit less money for the fruit because maybe the apple is partly bruised, right? Or you go to, I'm not going to name the place because people shop where they shop, but maybe the button is missing, something like that. So you can get designer clothes, but it's a little bit cheaper. You know what I mean? But you can still rock it because nobody's going to see the back button anyway. Whatever it is, can they come together and fuse themselves and bond over the fact that nobody thinks it's going to work? Or is it just X's and O's and the X's and O's don't match? Somebody who is outside the X's and O's right now, that's Devin Carter. Let's talk about this report from Mark Stein on Devin Carter's days dwindling in Sacramento. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
For the latest from Kings training camp,
Tune in to Sactown Sports 1140.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
What is a report? What is a report? What is information that is already known? This came out this weekend, and if you're a listener or a viewer of this show, or I'm not even going to gatekeep really anything in Sacramento, right? You morning show, afternoon show, you have heard that Devin Carter has been in trade talks. He's been in trade talks this whole time. So I don't really know what the difference was when Mark Stein put out his Stein line and said these words. Devin Carter's days with the franchise appear to be dwindling. He might have been the 13th overall pick out of Providence as a Friar as recently as the 2024 NBA draft, but the front office leaders who made that decision, Monty McNair and Wes Wilcox, are no longer in Sacramento. Sources say Carter's name is already featured in trade chatter throughout the offseason. Was that just a throwaway to just keep things going? Because what there was not already known. Am I missing something?
Maybe it's the first time Mark Stein specifically is talking about it.
I'm sure he reported that. I'm sure he also reported I'm sure it was reported during the Kuminga stuff.
Yeah.
Because it obviously was. So, I don't know. It's fine. Thank you for the information. We already knew it. If you listen to the Allen Stiles Show or watch the Allen Stiles Show, you already knew it. As far as what this is, Kyle, I don't know. What are you willing to lose Devin Carter for? I was a big proponent of not moving off of Devin Carter in order to bring in Russell Westbrook. And maybe that's part of this too. Mark Stein is kind of spinning the block now that Russell Westbrook is on the team. That's another player, another guard that is going to be taking this time. Do we have, off the top of your head, 916-339-1140, any other comps? They just picked up his third option, which means something but doesn't mean a ton. Do we have any other comps when it comes to what you would lose him for or what you would be willing to move off of him for? Because to me, I know he's 23, but he could still go to the G League, if I'm not mistaken, and just get some work in there. Why not? I'm looking here, Kyle, just to confirm. And he only played, this is kind of crazy. You didn't have a bunch of guys, but he only played 14 minutes against the Lakers, 14 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Neek, 33 minutes. Dennis Schroeder, 28, of course. Keon, 26. Where do you want him to do?
It's looking just about cooked. Do you know how many minutes Maxime played?
Yeah, Maxime played 16.
Yeah, Maxime's at least going to get a shot now, at least early, because Eubanks and him are their only bigs. So, Maxime's going to be backing up Eubanks.
Right.
But, yeah, he's clearly a third stringer, and it's even more the case now that they have Russell Westbrook. But unless they want to make another transaction, there is no reason to move on from Devin Carter now.
I don't understand that either. Unless his value, unlike Dalton Connect, unless his value has a little bit something to it and people are willing to take a chance on him. I cooked up something, and we'll talk a little bit about it later when it comes to somebody on the Miami Heat. But a team like the Heat, right? They already have Davion Mitchell, but he won't be there forever. But a team like the Heat, give me another team, Kyle. Somebody that has a strong culture that Devin can kind of learn within. I mean, the Heat are the obvious answer, to be honest. But
let's say the Nuggets.
The Heat, yes. The Nuggets.
The Spurs.
The Spurs.
God, not again.
Not again. They don't need him, but I would say the Celtics.
Can we finally get our pick swap back with the Spurs?
Never. So there are teams where I think Devin could go and they could mold him into something, which is crazy because that's why this whole, and I am not trying to stick on the same point, but that's why this whole thing doesn't make sense. The words that we are saying, and I've brought up the comparison between Trey Lance and Devin Carter before, the Niners were competing for a Super Bowl. The Kings are not. So to lose young talent to fight for an 8 seed, I'm sorry. I love Scott Perry. A lot of this isn't his fault. He's coming into a mess. He's cleaning up somebody. He's renting an apartment, right? Or he just bought, you know what it is? It's flip or flop, right? He bought a house and it's a complete disaster. He didn't realize the piping was messed up. He realized that aesthetically it didn't look great, but he didn't realize, this is going to take more time than we thought. The piping doesn't connect. The toilet is messed up. All this stuff. So he's fixing all that. Don't get me wrong. But with that being said, moving on from Devin Carter, and people get on me because they said I didn't like Devin Carter enough. But moving on from Devin Carter while you are fighting for an 8 seed seems, to bring it up again, seems like hustling backwards. Unless there is some value out there, it's a piece that you don't have right now. If it's a young power forward that somebody else is giving up on, by the way, I saw Kessler Edwards is available. If it's a young power forward or somebody that matches your profile as to who you are missing, fine. But just moving off of him for some second rounders or something like that, I'm not understanding,
especially when they've made time for the young players who are actually going to play on this team, like Nick Clifford, Isaac Jones, Maxime Reynaud. They're clearly making opportunity for those guys where they aren't for Devin, which, hey, by hook or by crook, maybe you end up at this result anyways, but it's hard to feel like this is the right move when we just haven't seen Devin Carter play all that much in the NBA specifically. And again, it's not like practices, you can't learn things from that, or these summer league games. Like, we get it. And in my estimation, I think the reason Devin Carter's value has probably plummeted so much is just because of the shoulder injury. He's an older rookie last year who missed half the season and then didn't find much time on the floor when he was available. And then a new general manager came in, brought in a bunch of young players that are technically younger than him. Nick Clifford and him are the same age, but still technically younger than him. And now they've got new people who they're prioritizing their development over him.
A couple of texts to get to. Sadly, this is from the 916. Sadly, no one cares about Devin Carter. He doesn't pass the eye test of a real NBA player. Like, would you ever say this dude could be great? That's from Folsom Mike. I don't know about great, Mike, but I also don't know that he is for sure not an NBA player. I think he's a project, and you got to go somewhere that is okay with letting you build as a project. And the Kings should be one of those places. Left up to a lot of fans, the Kings would be one of those places, but they're not one of those places because they have a bunch of vets that are taking up the playing time. They're trying to compete right now. Another 916 says, we are not getting anything for Carter, so just send him to the G League. I agree. Now, this is Kimberly. Would Devin Carter like that? Absolutely not. But if I'm Devin Carter, I'm working for myself. I'm working to put myself in a good spot. I'm staying ready. Ain't got to get ready if you stay ready. And maybe next season, if I play well enough, somebody takes a chance on me. Here's the other thing. Devin Carter coming out of the summer league. I think that was a huge opportunity. That is where Dalton Knecht didn't do himself any favors, and that is where I don't think Devin Carter played poorly. But again, when you're 23 years old in your second year, you're supposed to look like you don't belong. You're not necessarily supposed to look like Mason Jones, but you should look like this is a little too easy for me. And the only person that was the case, that was Nick Clifford. That was not Devin Carter. So I think that also, okay, let's get a chance to see Devin Carter. And I remember, the no ceilings NBA guys were trying to have no ceilings back on this week. I was trying to work out with them last week. Then all the news broke and things were rushing around. But there was a narrative, if you will, or there was a feeling that it was, I don't want to say a letdown, but the expectation was that a second-year guy, even with injury, a second-year guy, 23 years old, in Summer League, should look more so like this is boring to me and I don't belong. And they said Devin Carter was going to be the point guard. Maybe that was the issue, Kyle. Maybe there was too much of we want Devin's focusing on something else, which was such a waste of time. If they knew they were going to get a backup, you should have just let Devin be Devin, but no problem with diversifying who you are. That was another part of it. We haven't seen him much. You get out there, the new first rounder who was drafted later than you, just a season later, and with the current regime, not the past regime, he looks more ready than you and healthy. And Devin had shoulder stuff during summer league.
Yeah, Devin Carter feels like he's just kind of in the fold right now, right? Because we don't even know if Nick Clifford is going to find the floor early unless it's at the 4 position.
I know that. Nick Clifford going to play.
But where?
I don't know. I don't care. He's going to play.
Okay,
we'll do the over-under for minutes before the season starts on Wednesday, but give me the over. Whatever.
No matter what it is?
Tell me. I'm telling you right now. The dude, but that's the thing. It's the eye test, right? Kyle likes to get down with the nerd stats and be analytical, and that's all fine and good with the nerds. A LeBron and B LeBron and G LeBron. You watch Nick Clifford and you watch Devin Carter, and one guy looks comfortable and one guy does not look as comfortable.
No, I agree with that.
And I'm not saying it. I hate to pit them against each other. I know they played each other in AAU, and when we asked Devin Carter about that at Summer League, he wasn't excited to talk about it because, I will give him this. Devin Carter's real. I will give him that. Devin Carter, even if he's not intentionally telling you how he feels, he wears his heart on his sleeve. That's
God blessing me with his body.
That's what I've noticed. So everything that went down in Summer League, and now these reports are coming out, I still would, look, some guys got to play JV as a junior, right? It's not great, but you have to do it, and it works out for you. So if you're Devin Carter, you still have an opportunity. Anything can happen. I would rather be on I mean, obviously, if there's somewhere else that's interested in me, for sure, because I don't think that the Kings are prioritizing me, but he still has a good opportunity because Russ, I guess you never know with the Kings, but I don't know. I'm just not sure that Dennis Schroeder, Russ, DeMar DeRozan, I just think that this thing is going to loosen up a bit. Does that mean more minutes for Devin Carter? I don't know, because you still got Neek, you still got Malik, you still got these guys, but it's not cooked yet simply because it's the Kings, and you never know what the bleep they're going to do.
I mean, I guess things change fast in the league, so it could be as soon as December 15th.
Seriously,
if the right trade is available.
Yeah.
But I guess I just look at it like if we think that this Kings team that's about to field an opening night roster of Dennis Schroeder, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Dario Saric, and Drew Eubanks.
Bangers.
If that team is not getting minutes for Devin Carter, and we think that team is going to be in the maybe bottom third of the league this year, where in the league is Devin Carter going to go, where they're like, go for it, young man, you can have your run of the place, unless it's a team that's just decimated by injuries.
Yeah, and we know what the Jazz are trying to do. They want their own. You know what I mean? They have no interest in
They've also got like 4 guards now.
Yeah.
Between Taylor Hendricks and the Williams brother that sucks.
But again, with all that being said, that's why I'm not sure, unless you're the Heat feel like, hey, this is a reclamation project that we're interested in. The Celtics, right? Somebody like that, maybe it's the Shador thing in a way. Would he rather be on a Celtics G League where I don't know when I'm going to see the floor, but historically, right? Or the Spurs, historically, their programs have more direction to them, or would he rather be with the Kings where, yeah, I could be the 15th person off the bench one day and I could be starting the next. I mean, that's just how it is. On the other side, we have not Sacramento breaking news, but a level of breaking news in the NBA. And my takeaway is, man, oh man, the Kings really, really invested in Keegan Murray. I'll explain on the other side. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Sacramento Kings basketball is back. Be there for opening night at Golden One Center on Friday, October 24th, when the Kings take on the Utah Jazz at 7 p.m. Following opening night, the Kings will take on the LA Lakers on October 26th and then the Golden State Warriors on November 5th. Don't miss these marquee matchups and more great games coming to Golden One Center this season. Head to kings.com/tickets to secure your seat to be part of the action.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's happening, Chad, for the Drive Into Fall sales event?
Right now, you can save up to $8,250 off MSRP on one of America's favorite and most loved SUVs, the brand new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. It's the perfect combination of space, tech, and power to do whatever you need, from hauling the family around to family vacation.
Yeah, everyone I know that's had a Grand Cherokee says they love it.
It's true. There's something special about the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and now is the perfect time to check it out and save big with Hoblet. But whatever you're looking for, you can find it at Hoblet. Check out our certified pre-owned supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$8,250 total net savings on 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited after $4,750 factory rebates and $3,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include $2,000 select inventory bonus cash and $500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. 3 of this net savings, simple VIN 352-391. See dealer for details.
The greatest show on dirt returns to Stockton Dirt Track. October 31st and November 1st. It's the 42nd annual tribute to Gary Patterson. 2 nights of all-out racing to the finish, crowning the 2025 champions on dirt. Tickets now at StocktonDirtTrack.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
15 minutes away from the keyword for today. If you want a chance to win a pair of tickets, Thunder taking on your Sacramento Kings November 7th in a one-night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer. And $200 to Revival, downtown Sacramento's social hotspot. That's coming up. In 15 minutes, we will give you that code. So before the break, I told y'all how somebody who just got signed really illustrates how much the Kings are invested in Keegan Murray. Now, I also understand that there's more money involved because Keegan was a top 5 pick and this player was not. But Denver Nuggets and Christian Braun, they have agreed to a 5-year, $125 million rookie contract extension with the franchise. Braun, the number 21 pick in the 2022 draft, has been a developmental find and success for the Nuggets brass. Denver's top execs, Ben Tenzer and John Wallace, made it a priority to negotiate a new long-term deal to lock in Braun as part of the franchise's core moving forward. So he gets $525. Keegan got $5,140 again. He was drafted 21st in 2022. Keegan went number 4. So a little bit different, but both first rounders. And I think the first thing I did when I read this and thought, oh, is Keegan better than him? I don't know, but I do know that Keegan at some point will be given more responsibility than I think Braun will ever be given.
As long as Jokic is on the team.
Yeah, and even if he's not a point guard, so if they moved off of Jamal Murray, I could see him not being a point guard but being higher on the priority list. We still don't know what he is offensively. He had a career season offensively. And they're just taking I think it's a great not gamble, but I think it's a great investment for the Nuggets. But it's It's more than Jabari Smith. It's more of an investment as far as he's more important to the Nuggets than Jabari Smith Jr. is to the Rockets right now. But I still don't think it's to the level of – it's funny because I think him and Keegan are probably even right now. But in 3 years, I'm more certain that Keegan will be more important than Christian Brown is. Not saying Keegan's better than Christian Brown, simply because of the Nuggets system. You got Aaron Gordon, you got Jokic, you got Jamal Murray. So I understand why Keegan is getting paid a little bit more.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of hitting the Windhorst fingers a bit on this. Okay, they moved on from Michael Porter Jr. because they knew they were going to have to pay Christian Brown.
Right.
And they got Cam Johnson, great, it's a 2-year deal, whatever. But where I'm Windhorst fingering it is okay, Jokic is getting paid uber-duber super max. Jamal Murray has a max contract, which I think lasts 3 or 4 more years, I want to say. Jamal Murray's max does. You got Aaron Gordon, who just got extended at 30-something million a year. So is the idea that this is their new core 4? Or is this a precursor to make a big swing come 2026 or 2027? Because in my mind, I'm I don't really think you can pay. I'm trying to do the math real quickly here. I don't know if you can pay 110% of your salary cap to this starting 5.
What do you mean big swing?
Trading for a big name that comes available in 26 or 27, using either Jamal Murray or Aaron Gordon or Brown to try and trade for a bigger name down the line.
Luka.
Luka, maybe. I'm not saying who's to say, really. Right. Jokic has a lot of friends in this league, if we know anything. But I just look at it I don't think that's the long-term plan. I don't think for the next 3 years the plan is kind of like when the Bucks traded for Dame. Right? They extended Drew Holiday knowing that they didn't extend Drew Holiday knowing that he was going to be packaged for Dame eventually in that offseason. And then the Celtics were the one that gave him the extension. But that's just, I'm stuck on what the Nuggets are going to do here.
Right. But yeah, you're taking it kind of to the next level. Pound for pound, as far as let's just assume that Christian Brown is going to stay on the Nuggets, at least for now, where he falls on the hierarchy of Keegan Murray because you got Bill Simmons and people bagging on Keegan's contract and things like that. And I don't think anyone would. Again, things get looked at differently when you're the 21st pick versus the 4th pick like Keegan. But yeah, Christian Brown, breakout season, and what a time to do it. 15.4 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists per game. So yeah, definitely he's 6'6", by the way. So he's a shooting guard. You can slot him in at the 3 a little bit. 58% from the field, 39.7% from 3, 82% from the free throw line. How many threes? We just looked him up because we were just talking about him last week. He's not even taking, he took 2.8 threes a game. So he is, this is the Caruso thing, right? That's his path.
Who, Christian Brown?
Yeah. Maybe a little bit better offensively. We don't know. He's had one good season offensively, but maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What is one tier above Caruso? That's what I'm thinking.
Who's better, Lou Dort or Caruso?
Caruso.
Okay, then. I'm
trying to think who would be a good. Let's say I don't want to say Josh Hart because Josh Hart isn't the comp for him. I'm trying to think what is
Isn't it Derek White though?
I guess Derek White is a good one. I'm just trying to think because Christian Brown I think can be your 3rd or 4th best player on a pretty good team. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'd have to just go through the list and see who those guys are kind of in the league right now because he is such a unique skill set in that way.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep an eye on it just as far as what he brings to the table. And all these guys are going to be compared against each other now that they've gotten paid. And, besides the fact that it's just Sacramento, so people like to bag on it, I still think that Keegan's deal will not look bad in 2-3 years. And we'll just kind of see what happens from there. 916-339-1140. Let's get to TC. Wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, TC? What you got for us?
Hey, Allen, what's up, man? You guys got me?
I got you. What you got for us?
Hey, look, check it out. So, hey, I'm watching this kid from afar, right? And I'm talking about Nick Clifford.
Uh-huh.
And when I say this, it's not with no purple lenses. This is how it really is.
Okay.
We hit, fans. We got us another not Tyrese Halliburton, but what I mean by in that vein is how we hit on that pick with Halliburton. We hit with Clifford, bro, and he's going to be better than Tyrese Halliburton. We hit, y'all.
Thanks for the call, TC.
Yeah, I think Derek, just moving past that, I think Derek.
No, hold on.
Derek White probably is the comp we're looking for.
Let me process. Look, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I don't think they're the same type of player. Let me start there. I don't think they're the same type of player. No purple lenses, TC. You got some purple lenses on, if you're going to say that. I don't want to put too much on these kids, and then, people have probably noticed this with how I've spoken about both of them. All I've said is I know Nick Clifford is an NBA player, and I'm going to be honest, I was the number one guy out here that wanted Maxime Reynaud. I've actually, from watching him more, I've seen maybe why he went in the second round, and I think he's a little bit more raw than maybe I would like. Now, he can figure that out and get refined pretty quickly here, but I'm not going to. TC's take can be that Nick Clifford will be better than Tyrese Halliburton. That's not going to come out of my mouth. All I want is for, especially, no disrespect, but we're talking about Devin Carter possibly being moved. All I want is a rotation player from the number 26 pick in the draft. That's all I want. If we get more than that, and I know people have gotten on me saying, Allen, he's gonna be the guy, maybe. But I am just enjoying the fact that it looks like he's going to be a rotation player in the NBA. If he ends up better than Halliburton, TC, man, I'll give you 10 minutes on the show. Okay? If that happens, we will keep an eye out. But right now, I'm just happy that it looks like he can play in the NBA.
Yeah, if he's Jake LaRavia this year.
Oh, my goodness. That'd be incredible.
Yeah.
They're the same age, but that'd be incredible.
Yeah, if he could just slide into the Jake LaRavia role, that would be great. Also, I found the comp I'm looking for. The best case scenario for Christian Brown is Drew Holiday on the Bucks.
Not a point guard, though.
But you don't need to.
Okay. All right. On the other side, let's discuss how the Kings can survive at least 2 games without Domantas Sabonis. We will also discuss a name that has been floating around should the Kings make a play for this other combo shooting slightly point guard, but he can put the ball in the bucket. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-646-5454. That's 800-646-5454.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
A little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter. So who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140. Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles.
On Sactown Sports.
The number 916-339-1140. We're about to give you the secret code. Kyle had a little smirk on my face because, and I haven't seen the whole thing, but everybody's been saying, man, it's all roses and pineapples and rainbows in New York. With
pineapples.
Yeah, just throw that in there. Stay healthy, my friends. With the New York Knicks and Karl Anthony Towns, your boy. We call him Crunchwrap Supreme because I got a free Crunchwrap Supreme.
That's a crazy nickname.
because he did not do his job, and Kyle, we bet Taco Bell, and Kyle had to buy me Taco Bell.
But it was specifically him. It was the Knicks sweeping the Pistons,
yes.
And Karl had 0 points in the fourth quarter of a game they should have won.
Yeah, and Kyle had to take out a second mortgage to get the Taco Bell. He gets asked his potential role in the Knicks' new offense, and he says, honestly, I don't know.
That was Karl?
That was Karl Anthony Towns. So,
oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I sent it to you, but did you see the crazy clip this weekend of him and Ben Stiller on a podcast?
No.
Okay, so it was with whoever the white guy is on the JJ Redick podcast. Is it Tommy? Whatever. So Ben Stiller and Karl are doing a podcast together, and they ask Karl, what are you expecting for the upcoming season? And Carl just starts talking about Severance for 45 seconds.
I didn't
And then Ben Stiller's like, yeah, we were actually talking about the Knicks.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, the Knicks? Whatever. It's going to be whatever.
Yeah.
And then Ben Stiller literally had to tell him. It was just like the most...
ridiculous.
I could feel the frustration in his voice. He's just like, all we want is for you to focus on the Knicks.
Yeah, no, it's about Severance. I am looking forward to the new season, by the way. 916-339-1140. Sactown Sports is giving you a chance to win a pair of lower-level seats to the Sacramento Kings versus Oklahoma City Thunder game on November 7th, a one-night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer. And $200 gift card to Revival Downtown Sacramento Social Hotspot. Enjoy elevated vibes, stylish crowd, and the perfect view of the beam after a Kings win over the defending NBA champions. Text in today's keyword to 916-339-1140 now for your chance to win. And today's keyword is... It is RIM. R-I-M. RIM. Text in RIM, and you will get thrown into that pile of names each and every day, and we will pick that winner. You will get a chance to win those tickets, win a night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer in that California King, as well as $200 to Revival. Make sure you are looking sleek for that night out. Okay, as we discuss what the Kings are going to be able to do or not do without the likes of Domantas Sabonis and Keegan Murray, the question is, can the Kings survive 2 games versus the Suns Jazz without Sabonis? And, I mean, they're going to win 1. I'm fairly certain they're going to beat the Jazz, right? Sacramento Kings star Domantas Sabonis will miss opening night and be reevaluated in 1 week. That was Chris Haynes. Then it also came out that that he's going to miss the Friday game as well. So, look, man, you still got Zach LaVine. I don't know if Markkanen is probably out. I don't know when Markkanen ever plays basketball.
He's got a wrist injury, Allen.
So he is going to be out?
He missed the preseason.
He never plays.
They don't want him to.
They paid him, and he literally went in a cryo chamber. That's all.
They don't want him to play.
And they knock on the door every 10 games and say, hey, we're going to get fined again. Go play a quarter. And then go back to the cryo chamber. That's literally what they do.
Gosh, that one season, that 1 year where he made the All-Star team, and it was in Utah, and we dragged Frankie and Chris to Utah, and Markkanen came out, and he was like God in Utah because their guy was starting in the All-Star game. That season earned Markkanen so much money.
That's what I keep telling people. All you got to do is be good at your job for like a year in these situations. Look, Jordan Love, he was good for 1 year. Jordan Love was good for 5 games, got generational wealth. Good for 5 games.
No, normally in the NBA, this doesn't happen. It only happens in Utah. Like, Utah said, Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, Markkanen, 1 great season, all the money you ever want.
I keep telling y'all, life is about timing. Life is about timing. And sometimes it just works out for you. We all have that friend that they just always seem to be in the right place at the right time. And that was Lauri Markkanen, right? It's time to get paid, that contract season. And then there are other guys like Şengün who got a nice paycheck for sure, but Şengün had his breakout season while under contract last season.
Yeah, he played it backwards.
Yeah.
He lost out probably on $20-25 million by playing it backwards.
So Markkanen will do more research as that Friday game comes, but like I said, I'm less concerned about that Friday game or this thing is really off to a poor start. But as far as the Suns game is concerned, no Jalen Green for the Suns. He's already been ruled out. Obviously, you have Devin Booker and his fourth highest amount of money made in the history of the NBA. I'm looking here, Kyle, and there's an SI article. It says Suns opening night lineup will excite fans. Phoenix has a new starter at center who will make his anticipated debut. Okay, and it says Devin Booker and Jalen Green. I guess Jalen Green might be back in time.
I thought he was ruled out for the start of the season.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. They might be saying just in in general. But they're saying comprised of second-year wing Ryan Dunn, who they're very, very high on, Dylan Brooks. Let's not forget Dylan Brooks, and Mark Williams. Williams was traded to the Suns on draft night and has high potential. He did not play in the preseason as Phoenix is trying to I was going to say he did not play in the preseason because he never plays, but the way it's written is did not play in the preseason as Phoenix is trying to prepare him to play a full season.
This is one day ago from valleyofthesuns.com, which is a Suns blog. He has a hamstring injury and is not going to be available for opening night. Green isn't the only starter who will be missing. Center Mark Williams also won't feature.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So this article is more so about the outlook, or maybe they didn't know that Williams was going to be out. But anyway.
Also, Dylan Brooks had to have stitches after a scrimmage, so he's probably going to play, but.
You got to win this game. You have to win this game. So no Keegan, no Sabonis. You're going to start Eubanks and his jelly. Start Eubanks and his layup package and his random three-pointer. If Eubanks makes a three-pointer on opening night, oh my goodness. I might buy you Taco Bell, Kyle. How about that?
I'll take it. Also,
I need it.
I was joking with a couple of people the other day, like how recently do I have to say, imagine telling a Kings fan blank months ago, how far back do I have to go to make the joke? Imagine telling a Kings fan blank months ago that their opening day starting lineup for 2026 would be Dennis Schroeder, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Dario Saric, and Drew Eubanks.
Crazy.
It's like, what, 6 months ago, 8 months ago? How far back do I have to go for that joke to be true?
I don't know, because the thing about the Eubanks thing is you would have assumed, okay, well, they blew it up, right? But then when you say the other names, they didn't blow it up.
Yeah.
It would be very, very confusing.
It's Dennis Schroeder. It's like the worst version of the 2023
Oh, you
Bulls.
forgot. Russell Westbrook.
Well, I just meant specifically the starting lineup. The starting lineup is Dennis Schroeder, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Dario Saric, and Drew Eubanks.
Kyle, this just came out, and we're going to continue to talk about the Kings leading up to their opening day. But all these rookies are getting cashed out because we're up against that threshold of October.
It's whenever your
22nd.
opening night is.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So it could be tomorrow for some teams. Could be October 22nd for others.
News?
Not for the Kings, but Atlanta. Nope. Atlanta Hawks defensive guard, all defensive guard. I thought Shams just said defensive guard because you don't play offense. But Atlanta Hawks all defensive guard Dyson Daniels has agreed to a 4-year, $100 million rookie contract extension with the franchise. His agent tells ESPN.
Wow, he was trying to get 5 for $150.
I know. So maybe that's because he went. You think that? Yeah, because he went less years. Maybe to get up out of there.
I'm guessing there's probably a player option in there. We will find out eventually, but that's surprising. Also, for those who are keeping track at home, in terms of average annual value and total dollar amount, Keegan Murray still 4th in his draft class. He outpriced Christian Brown, outpriced Dyson Daniels, outpriced Jabari Smith Jr. How about that? Good on outpriced Jovic, but he didn't get a huge contract, but good on Keegan. He's beaten out all his classmates except for the 3 that got maxes.
Yeah. So, Dyson Daniels with one of the greatest. You're just a defensive guy when you have a celebration for what you do on the defensive end. How many people have that? You had Dikembe Mutombo with the finger. Who else had that besides Dyson Daniels and the lock up as he puts his hands behind the back like he has you locked up under arrest? He did that to the Kings. That was on De'Aaron, and De'Aaron thought it was a foul.
Yeah.
But it did not get called a foul all those years ago. That was last year, brother.
That was
less than a year ago, actually.
That was 4 years ago, but also a year ago.
So Dyson Daniels locks up his deal, and the Kings will see him and the crew at some point, and that's before.
It's early. Year.
That's before Keegan, and hopefully Domantas Sabonis will be back. But before Keegan returns, getting back to the 2 games, though, you're telling me no Mark Williams and no Jalen Green?
Oh,
I mean, you got to get it done.
So which is a bigger abomination of a lineup? Is it the Kings with Schroeder, DeRozan, LaVine, Saric, and Eubanks? Or is it the Suns with, I'm just guessing off top here, it's going to be Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks, Royce O'Neal.
And his stitches. Dylan Brooks and his stitches.
Yeah, Dylan Brooks and his stitches. Malawak. And I'm trying to think who else.
Did you say Ryan Dunn already?
No, I didn't say Dunn. So
Dunn.
Dunn, Booker, Dylan Brooks, Royce O'Neal, and Malawak.
What do we think that this Westbrook situation is going to look? Because he got no preseason time. When is he going to come off the bench? Like, who is he jumping immediately? Is he? Because if I'm Malik, and I know Malik, him very close from the Lakers, but who is he? Obviously, he's jumping Devin Carter, who isn't in the rotation.
Yeah.
But out of that 10, is he jumping anyone? What are people going to do? And I know people were already not happy about it. But when does this go from being cute and cool and let's buy a Westbrook jersey to him getting subbed in before? I know that would tick them off if it was Keon, so I won't waste my time with that. But he gets subbed in before Nick Clifford.
I mean, he might. This is what's so hard about the conversation, though, because the quote-unquote 10-man rotation we had in our mind is now an 8-man rotation because we just got rid of Keegan and Sabonis. So now there's opportunity for everyone. You want to play? Go for it. Well, sorry, everyone except Devin Carter. But
you're on the block.
Yeah, everyone except Devin Carter. There's opportunity for everyone, even though Devin Carter's only played 400 minutes in the NBA. But that's kind of the weird thing about the conversation. Like, you can guard threes. Go in there.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Devin can guard threes. We don't care.
It doesn't matter because Devin's shot is weird and his shoulder is hurt.
Yeah.
And
why is it given? This reminds me of Cinderella a little bit, like the two sisters. I just watched this with Baby Styles #1. The two sisters. That's Neek and Keon, and they get to hang out with the aunt. I think it was an aunt, and you just got Devin. Like they don't want to let Devin go to the ball. He needs a fairy godmother. That's what Devin needs. Maybe it's a fairy godmother in the form of a different team.
Fairy godmother is a trade for Dalton Connect.
Seriously. Seriously.
Just thought of the joke. The fairy godmother who's going to come and save him is Rob Pelinka.
Yes. Rob, please. Please, Rob.
Yeah. Now someone, I know you can send GIFs on our chat now. If someone wants to AI image create Rob Pelinka as the fairy godmother, please, by all means.
What about the Hornets?
What about him?
You can go. They're not playing defense down there. Somebody got to play defense.
Yeah, but going to the Hornets is the same argument for going to the Kings. Well, I shouldn't say the same.
No.
The Hornets, at least are garbage and rebuilding.
Yeah. They might have too many. Yeah, they got Sexton.
Hey, the Hornets can get their second-round pick back. You know, we'll flip you Devin Carter and your second-round pick for something.
Okay, is it crazy? Hear me out.
I'm just going to assume yes.
Hear me out. I know he hasn't looked good.
But
he's 6'9".
Your guy?
He wears a terrible jersey, but he's 6'9", and he's only 20. Just do Devin Carter for Tijan Salam. Just do it. Right?
I mean, that would be selling higher than Dalton Connect.
Just do it. I don't know.
You're saying Tijan Salam is that bad?
Just do it. Just do it, man.
And look, it's just the only value he has is taking someone else's problem or just getting what Washington did with Cam Whitmore, where they just traded a couple second-round picks to take a flyer on him. That's the only way someone's trading for Devin Carter straight up right now, right? Like if we get to February and he's part of a larger trade package, then we can kind of reevaluate that. But if you're just saying, hey, if we get to game 10 or game 15 and it's just like, hey, Keegan's thumb isn't working and we just got nothing in the front court and we can't just keep signing Kessler Edwards to 10-day contracts.
You can though.
To just 10-day contracts over and over. We can't keep playing Daquan Plowden and 10-day Kessler Edwards.
But please.
If it gets so bad that you just have to do it, then the only thing you're getting is someone else's disgruntled young player.
Yeah, but again, maybe it fits a need. But getting back to, we're having too much fun here. Getting back to, can the Kings
fairy
survive?
godmother Rob Pelinka was great.
Can the Kings survive 2 games versus the Suns? Jazz, what say you? 916-339-1140. Can the Kings go 2-0 to start the season with no Domantas Sabonis and no Keegan Murray? Because they are kind of going to have to, based on how the rest of those 20 games shake out. I just think it has to be done, Kyle. We'll get more into the head-to-head matchup when we get closer to game day and actually on game day. But I think you throw Keon. You know what's funny is how we've talked about Keon. And yes, he's really good at defense, but there's a very particular type of player that he's good at defending. I don't think that Keon is the best person to guard Devin Booker. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that Nick Clifford can check Devin Booker, who's dropped 70 points and is worth $600 million and has gone to a finals. I'm not saying that. But if I'm looking at the team right now with no Keegan Murray, it's probably going to be Keon for a good bit, but I don't feel very comfortable. My hope is that they make Devin Booker do that stupid point guard stuff again. That's the hope. Just keep the ball out of his hands. Because between him, and I know Jalen Green's out, but between him and you got Ryan Dunn, who they really like, without Keegan, I'm not sure who's going to guard Devin.
Yeah. I guess I'm just looking through it here. You've got Colin Gillespie is another point guard the Suns have. That's fine. You mentioned Dunn. They've got Kobe Bray, which is not a point guard. That's another. Again, they're the same thing as the Kings. They've got eight combo guards, and one of them's going to have to play point guard. Oh, I also forgot about Grayson Allen.
Oh, yeah, that's and they also said, and they still have Royce O'Neal.
That's what I say. Royce O'Neal's in the starting lineup.
Yeah. They keep on saying that Devin's not going to be a point guard, but he will still have to be point guard.
Yeah. That's honestly, yeah. Devin Booker's going to be the primary ball handler, I guess we'll call it. Because it's just like the entire rest of their team is just lengthy two guards or, wings, I guess you could say. Even Dunn is probably closer to a two guard than anything else. Just such a weird roster construction, which again, you could say the same thing about I'm sure the people in Phoenix right now are A, yelling about Kyler Murray, and B, looking at the Kings right now and saying, it's kind of a weird roster construction too.
Yeah, Nick Richards might actually start for them.
Yeah, I just said it would be Malawak, but it's, I guess, probably Nick Richards.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the point of drafting Malawak if you're not going to play him?
Malawak, he's not even on the Fanspo. I don't know what's going on with Malawak.
Yeah. Anyways, well, they've got Malawak, they've got Richards, they've got what's his name, Iguodaro, and Mark Williams. They've got all the shot block. Can we go get one of them?
Maybe that's it. Hey, take Devin. Well, you already got too many guards, but take somebody.
Just add one more. What's it gonna hurt?
Yeah, the Kings. You have to win this game. You know what? You know what scares me? Grayson Allen has gone off. Remember a couple years ago when the Suns made that crazy comeback, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is what it was. The Kings had just lost to the Bucks, and that was when Malik said, "I got to be better," because he bricked those free throws, and then Dame went Dame time. They came back, and they had to go to Club Phoenix, and they were winning big, and everybody thought, "Oh shoot, good for the Kings." They bounced back after a really tough loss. Grayson Allen, I think, had 6 threes in that game, something insane.
It's a 20-point fourth quarter lead. They
ended up losing that game. So the Kings, no Domantas Sabonis, no Keegan Murray. The Kings need to win this game and should win this game, but they could definitely lose this game.
Oh, for sure, especially because the Suns still have the best player on the floor.
Yeah,
right. I mean, Devin Booker. Even if Sabonis were playing, again, I'm a bigger Devin Booker guy than others, but you could make the argument, even Devin Booker on the floor, Devin Booker's the best player, even if Sabonis is playing. So you always give the team that has the best player a good shot to win.
The only good thing is when that player is playing out of position, and Devin Booker will probably be playing out of position.
Which means he's going to get guarded by Dennis Schroeder.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Is this going to be the day where we see this lockdown defense from Dennis Schroeder? And wait, hold on. Let me take a step back. Is this going to be the day where we see the Kings actually guard 94 feet?
No.
Like, are we ever going to – what's more likely to happen? Keegan Murray 10 threes a game, or the Kings actually guarding 94 feet throughout a game?
I'd say 94 feet, but the most likely thing, and it goes along with 94 feet, though, is, and we can promise this, the Kings are going to win the fight.
Oh.
They might lose the game, but they're going to go 82-0 in fights.
And breakfast.
And breakfast.
And knowing breakfast.
Yes. It's,
They know what you ate for breakfast.
Will they know what the Suns had for breakfast?
They'll know what Dylan Brooks had for breakfast.
They will definitely know what Dylan Brooks.
And you know what Dylan Brooks had for breakfast? Pain.
By the way, Dylan Brooks did get cooked by DeMar DeRozan last season because remember that weird thing how the Kings could beat nobody besides the Rockets? They just kept beating the Rockets, but they couldn't beat anybody else. DeMar DeRozan cooked Dylan Brooks last season.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Dylan Brooks will be guarding DeMar again, and that's going to be a matchup that they have to win. You know, it's funny because missing Domantas Sabonis and Keegan kind of puts you in survive mode. So I know there are going to be a lot of people that were excited to not see DeMar DeRozan step into his office, as Mark Jones says over and over again. These first couple games here, I'm going to tell you right now, DeMar DeRozan is going to be in his office a lot.
Okay, you want to hear a funny story? So over the weekend, I went back and watched Game 4 of the Kings-Warriors series. I was going through highlights. And Mark Jones was on the call for ESPN. And at one point, De'Aaron Fox pulls up from the free throw line and hits a shot. And Mark Jones goes, folks, that shot, that mid-range, that's De'Aaron Fox's office.
Oh.
And I heard that. I was like, oh, no, Mark's reusing.
No, he can. Yeah, everyone's got an office. That's fine.
But he's reusing it for DeMar DeRozan now. It's just his office looks less cool than when De'Aaron Fox goes in his office.
There's a lot of, no, everyone's got an office. That's not reusing.
I heard it. I was like, am I watching a Kings game from last year? Oh,
No.
it made me so sad.
No, there's no reusing there. Okay, as we discussed, this guard, a high-scoring guard, could be available. I have cooked up a possible trade for the Kings to acquire him. Do we think it works or not? We will tell you who it is when we return. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings are geared up for the new season. Training camp competition is fierce.
He's got the two-pointer. Download the Sactown Sports app to keep you informed everywhere you go.
One place, all your Sacramento Kings news. Sactown Sports 1140.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Sinners and Saints is back at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 25th.
Don't miss the Michael Jackson tribute concert, the $5,000 costume contest, and more. Don't have FOMO checking your social media, seeing your friends posted from the party.
Get your tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
More deals keep coming out. Just so much money getting thrown around, man. So much money getting thrown around.
Is there another one?
No, just the Dyson Daniels. Most improved player. 4-year, $100 million deal.
Second for Depoy.
Yeah, so good for the Hawks. They're locking down their guys, and this is how it typically goes. You still have, because that's the whole thing. You still have your Trae Young, which is essentially their Sabonis, a slightly overpaid guy that was with you. And I know they didn't draft Sabonis, but guy that's been with you and you kind of hold on. The problem is all the other pieces, right? The Hawks don't have any vets that they're paying. That's where it differs between the vets and the Hawks. And they don't even have the Hawks, anybody as old as Keegan, I don't think, that they're paying. I don't know if Jalen Johnson is even
technically, for at least one season, technically Porzingis.
True, but yes, he's kind of feeling a need, and I would say they just brought in Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who I know has got to be over 25, but he's there to do a job, right? They have their core, they have their outside guys that are there to do a job, and Trae Young's somewhere in the middle, but you got your Porzingis, your Nickeil Alexander-Walker, then you got your core of Jalen Johnson, Dyson Daniels, and Risache.
Yeah, those guys are all younger than Keegan.
I'm pretty jealous. To be honest, we'll see what the Hawks actually do. They kind of remind me of the Falcons. So all these Atlanta teams. I know the Braves did win the World Series, but they right idea, but then it just I don't know what to do. Are we going to be looking at the Heat or not the Falcons, but are we going to be looking at the Falcons the same way that we look at all of these Atlanta teams, how they just can't feed the Hawks? Are we going to be looking at them all the same way where, hey, they should be good, but I don't know, they're just not?
Well, good news, Alan. They went to the play-in 4 years in a row in order to get that core. So if we just keep at it for enough years,
more.
We're already 2 years in. So if we keep at it 2 more years of going to the play-in, eventually we'll get our young core too. Which I saw people were also pointing out that they got the young core while also drafting 2 players in the last 3 years that are not in the league anymore. Because
Crazy.
They took A.J. Johnson, who retired to be a monk or something. Not a Malik Monk, retired to pursue, religion.
Okay.
And Kobe Buffkin, who just got waived by the Nets and is probably headed to Australia.
To play, yeah. Wow.
And they still got it right, which is the case for just take as many shots at the board. No one knows what they're doing. Just take as many shots at the board, and eventually it'll work out.
The 916 is asking, hey, did I miss the code word? You did, but I got you. It is RIM. R-I-M. That is the secret keyword today if you want that Kimpton Sawyer giveaway, as well as 2 lower-level Kings tickets, November 7th, the Kings versus the Thunder. Okay, so this came out because this team, who we joke about if they didn't get LeBron a couple years ago and Jimmy Butler, they're basically the Kings with better PR. From Brian Windhorst, it is doubtful that Tyler Hero gets a contract extension from the Miami Heat. Tyler Hero is definitely interested in extending with the Heat, but there haven't been substantive talks to his point, and a deal is doubtful. So they just don't want to pay anybody. The Heat. The Heat are the very classic example of you have a job, and nowadays you're not going to go somewhere from being an intern from being a CEO or either a director. when you want that big paycheck, sometimes you got to leave, right? Because people still view you the same way. I used to talk to a buddy of mine about this because he was about 2-3 years younger than me. He started as an intern at the company that we were both at, and other people that had kids, and it was all slightly illegal, but it's just all unspoken, right? If you have kids, if you're older, you are more likely to get taken seriously when it comes to certain pay raises and promotions, things like that. My buddy was, at that time, I'm 27 years old, so he's 24, 25. He had been with the company for as soon as he graduated college, so he'd been for 2-3 years, but he was getting skipped over a little bit. And I said, that's because they still think you're an intern. They shouldn't look at you like that, but that's because they still think you're an intern. And if you want to get paid the way you feel like you need to get paid, you might need to leave. That's how it goes a lot of times. It's not right, but that's how it goes a lot of times. So the Heat, they're this company that they still see Tyler Hero's got a kid. Tyler Hero's been around. I know he's been injured a bit, but they don't look at him and say, we want to extend with you. We'll bring in Norman Powell, and we might extend Norman Powell because he looks like an adult to us, but Tyler Hero, we're still treating you like a kid. So with all that being said, Kyle, I got in the dungeon, and it's a dark, dark dungeon. And now let me say this. This is part of the hybrid, okay? I think you can do this. You can still stink enough to go get the good boozer or AJ Domantas, who, by the way, we got to run Tankathon. AJ Domantas highlight reel, not right now, we'll do it on the other side, but AJ Domantas highlight reel just dropped. There was a game this weekend or something, and everybody, I saw some Kings fans saying, please just stink. Please just stink to go get this guy. Well, this is what I cooked up, Kyle.
Real quick before we move on, just to back up your point about they still think Tyler Hero's the intern.
Yeah.
5 years ago on Wednesday, this is going to make me feel old. I don't know if it's going to make you. 5 years ago Wednesday, Jack Harlow dropped the Tyler Hero song. That was half a decade ago.
And that wasn't even like his first song.
No, Jack Harlow was famous at that point. And that was 5 years ago. They still think you're the kid doing music videos with Jack Harlow.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
But that was 5 years ago. Now you're an all-star, Tyler Hero.
Yeah. All right, Kyle. Am I crazy? Would you do this deal? Apparently, you might need to sweeten it for the Heat, but just hear me out. Now, Norman Powell is on an expiring contract, okay? They might extend. They traded for him, so I think that they'd extend him. But even still, I believe that Norman Powell is best served as maybe a sixth man again, right? And he might have a little too much responsibility here this season. We'll see. I don't know that. With that being said, this is the deal. Tyler Hero for the Kings.
Yep. Okay.
The Kings would get Tyler Hero, and they would eat the Terry Rozier contract for a year.
Got it.
In return, the Heat would get Zach LaVine and Devin Carter.
Yeah, you might have to sweeten it a little bit.
Yeah.
But
we're taking, because I guess their thought is we're just going to sit Terry on the bench. So
the Kings might just buy him out.
Well, I'm saying the Heat might say we don't really see you as doing us a solid because we can just get through the season and then he's off the books.
Yeah, so the only hesitation would be if the Heat, because the Heat don't operate like normal teams, but would the Heat be willing to trade Tyler Hero attached to a bad contract when that contract's just going to expire at the end of the year anyways? Like, right. Tyler Hero's too important of a trade chip. But
you get Zach LaVine, and like I said, I mean, Devin Carter with Eric Spoelstra, that's a player.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now. And Zach LaVine, they can renegotiate with him. Obviously, they still have that $47 million, but they could renegotiate that, say, hey, Zach, you're going to be our guy. Let's just lower this a little bit for the next 3 years. He gets to go to Miami.
Or the other thing is, if they do that, they will have, if I'm doing quick math, about $80 million in cap space come the summer of 2027, where they will pretend like they're going to get Giannis and then not offer him a max or tell the Bucks we're going to give you Zach LaVine and a first-round pick.
Right.
They're going to lowball the Bucks for Giannis and pretend they actually had a shot at him.
Well, it is a good point because with Tyrese Halliburton injured, with Jason Tatum injured, you give yourself a real shot at competing, right? And now they wouldn't really have a point guard because they don't really have a point guard now if they moved on from Tyler Hero. But you make this move, you feel like you're a contending team for a couple years in the East. This is what they do. And then you lose Zach LaVine off the books, and you make a decision from there, just like you said, Kyle. So I don't know. And from the Kings' point of view, if you want to give up a pick swap, obviously you're not giving up 2026, or I wouldn't give up a first. But from the Kings' point of view, maybe a couple seconds, you would then have 27-year-old Tyler Hero, 27-year-old Tyler Hero. He's going to be your point guard. You have Nick Clifford. You have Keegan Murray. All those guys are 6'5" and up. Okay? Then you would still have Sabonis. You'd have Keon Ellis as your 2. And I'm just assuming that obviously, DeMar DeRozan would be out of here at some point, and same with Russell Westbrook. And then you have Maxime bringing up the rear. That team would probably would stink for a year or stink the rest of this season. You go get your top 3 pick and you add that top 3 pick to the mix. You're kind of rocking and rolling here going into the future, and you might have a guy in Domantas or Darren Peterson, and you have Tyler Hero, who would be one of the best players that the Kings would have had on their team, or definitely outside of, from the youth perspective as well, moving on from De'Aaron Fox. I think it's a world to live in.
So here's where I'm stuck, right? Because Tyler Hero's 26, and respectfully, I think of Tyler Hero and Zach LaVine as the same player, right? They're basically giving you the same thing, essentially.
Okay.
If Tyler Hero
I don't agree, because I think Tyler Hero is more of a playmaker, but I'll allow it.
Sure. Well, just last year, Hero was the 12th guy on the Eastern Conference All-Star team, and Zach LaVine was 13th. So I'm saying, like, they're basically giving you the same thing.
Okay.
Tyler Hero, if he doesn't sign an extension now, I just looked it up, he is eligible next summer for a 4-year, $207 million contract. That comes out to roughly $50 million a year. I
can't do that.
So that's the thing that I'm saying is, if you trade for Tyler Hero and you think he's a max player,
he's getting that. He ain't getting that.
But he's an all-star in the East. But he's an all-star. So
I'm sorry.
Look,
nobody's giving him that though.
But that's the Heat argument: is no one's giving you $50 million a year. Meanwhile, the Sacramento Kings are like, we're paying Zach LaVine $50 million a year.
Right. Would
Tyler
you rather
Hero's
pay? No, I wouldn't.
Tyler Hero's just younger Zach LaVine, who also doesn't play defense.
No, I wouldn't. No.
But that's the argument, right? That's the negotiation. Is in the new second apron NBA landscape, can you afford to pay a player who at his best was the 3rd or 4th best player on a team that went to the finals and is the 2nd best player on a team that went to the play-in last year? Can you afford to pay that guy $50 million per year in the new second apron landscape? Also, the disrespect continues because you said they don't really have playmaking on offense and they have Davion Mitchell.
That's true. Well, he did turn into an elite point guard once the Kings moved off of him. The Kings moved off of 3 elite point guards.
So in your trade scenario, though, you'd have Davion, Devin Carter, which would be hilarious since they traded Davion once they drafted Devin Carter. But you could have Davion, Zach LaVine, Norman Powell, Khalil Ware, Bam Adebayo. Hey. That's a team that can't play defense.
No, that is a team that is headed straight for the play-in once again, but could get in because that's what they do.
But would have $80 million in cap space in 2027 when they pretend to go after Giannis.
When we return, another name may be available, as it doesn't look like they will come to a contract extension agreement. He's from the East Coast, and you'll never guess what they've nicknamed him. Should the Kings go after this sharp shooter? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter, right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, UC Davis, and Sac State with a Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com to join.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they're upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. And you've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
The excitement of the game is here, and so are the model year-end savings at Stockton Honda, the best Honda dealer in Northern California. Score big with low payments, more for your trade, and a huge selection. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study, recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
JTV, Jewelry Television. With 80,000 jewelry looks, we're kind of a big deal. Even bigger with new lines of designer handbags, fragrances, and more. And biggest of all, because you could win a 7-night stay in Bali, spending money, and thousands worth of JTV jewelry, making you kind of a big deal. Enter by December 7th at jtv.com/sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Then watch JTV on TV or shop jtv.com for big holiday deals.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And 1 o'clock, we got a lot of NFL to get to. Man, oh man, I tried to tell y'all, and I don't take any pride in saying this, but the Jaden Daniels thing, he was getting cracked at LSU. He was getting cracked at ASU.
He was getting cracked last year. He played through the whole season with broken ribs.
Yeah. Now, I know it's a soft tissue muscle. It's not the same, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Lamar Jackson did not practice with that. It's these hamstrings, man. Got to get out there and stretch. That was the one thing back in my day when I was playing. It was the hammy for me, man. You got to make sure those hammies are strong. And obviously, these guys are the best athletes in the world. It's the same thing with the Achilles stuff. Oh, maybe they didn't stretch their calves enough. I mean, come on, right? That's not why these things happen. If anything, they're almost too athletic for their own body, if you will.
Every time there's a new Niner injury, it's just like, well, dynamic stretching could have solved everything.
That could have done it, but we'll see what happens. The Commanders are essentially, both those teams are cooked to me.
So the Commanders are looking like they're going to be without Terry McLaurin, Debo, Noah Brown, who went on IR. Jaden Daniels is going to be out. Austin Eckler tore his Achilles back in week 2. They go on the road to play Kansas City next week.
Yeah, they're done. They're done. The Ravens are done. we'll see what happens with the Bengals. Now all of a sudden Trey Hendrickson is off because they won a game.
Yeah.
And Joe Flacco looked ridiculous. Now, no, we're back, baby.
They're also in a terrible division, so they're one game out of the wild card.
Yeah, the big game, I don't know if it's Sunday or Monday next week, but Packers Steelers will be fun. That'll be a fun one.
I know the NFL schedules are set like a year in advance with the home and away, but you got to call an audible there and have Aaron Rodgers go to Lambeau. Like the fact that he's playing the Packers, but it's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You got to call an audible there and just send him to Lambeau.
Yeah, good call. So we got NFL coming up in 15 minutes. How are you feeling? Look, if anybody is still wanting to talk about, look, the Niners, obviously, we are the Sacramento home of the Niners. You can hear all the games here. But if you want to talk about the Raiders, I'll allow it. I don't want to because they're so bad and it makes me sad. But
why? What happened yesterday?
No, nothing, actually. A game was, they should have just said, you win. If you're going to run first and second down running plays down 25, just say we're going home.
So the funniest thing about yesterday's game, actually there were a lot of funny things. One, the drive chart that I sent you where it's like punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown, punt, touchdown the whole way.
Yeah, hilarious.
That was funny. Also them putting Mahomes in the third quarter, or taking Mahomes out. Yes, putting Minshew in for Mahomes in the third quarter, also funny. But I think the funniest thing, and you having to listen in Spanish because the SAP was reversed. I think the funniest thing though is they sent Nance and Romo to that game.
Yeah.
They were like, you know what this game needs? The number one broadcasting team for CBS.
What a waste.
Why is Jim Nance going to watch the Raiders get slaughtered by Kansas City?
What a waste. All right, Kyle, let's run the draft simulator real quick.
No Domantas.
There we go.
Oh, Allen.
I ran it like 7 times.
Yeah, I know, because our numbers are messed up because you keep lying.
Okay. But the first 3 times it stayed at 8, and then it dropped down to 9 for 2, and then it went to 3.
So 9, 2.
It stayed at 8. Just put 8.
All right, we'll put 8. But we also got to do one for last Friday because we didn't do it. So we'll count today's as a 3.
Yeah, that's more like it.
But you still can't get Domantas in his highlight package.
No, which was, I'm telling y'all, the dude looks ridiculous. Here's my thing. How can you watch that, right? How can you watch that if you are the Kings and the Kings brass and say, no, we're going to keep doing what we're doing? Now, I get it. They are up to $5 billion as far as their valuation. But I don't know how you can watch that and say, this dude is going to probably end up on another Western Conference team, and we're just going to keep powering through with these overpaid vets.
Because, Allen, in the NBA, you could be the worst team that has ever fielded a competitive basketball team, and you still have a 1 in 7 chance of landing the number 1 pick. You could be worse than that Pistons team that lost 28 in a row, and Kuzma was saying, don't be the one. And they ended up with a 5 pick that year. Like, being the worst team in the NBA, all it does is guarantee you a top 5 pick. It does not mean you're going to get Domantas. It does not mean you're going to get Peterson. It doesn't mean you're even going to get the good boozer. The way to stack it up is to do what the Hawks did, which is get a bunch of shots at the board, and eventually you get lucky. And in their case, they got the 1 pick in the year that you don't want the 1 pick, but Reece Sachet is going to be
decent.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they still think he's going to be decent, and they hit in other situations as well. Speaking of drafts, let's talk second draft, and another guy that the Pacers have decided they don't know that they want to pay. This is from Jake Fisher of the Stein Line. Another 2022 first-round pick who appears unlikely to land a new deal by Monday night. That's why we're seeing all this news now. Pacers guard Benedict Mathurin. Yet, that should really come as no surprise given the Pacers' uncertain present minus the out for the season Tyrese Halliburton. If Indiana was reluctant to commit long-term money to the since-departed Miles Turner earlier this summer, Mathurin will almost certainly have to wait. So, same idea. He'll get to go to restricted free agency. They're willing to see if they get priced out or not. But, Kyle, the funniest thing was I was reading some comments on this because he goes 6'5", right? So mostly shooting guard, maybe can mix in at the 3 a little bit. But he goes 6'5", and obviously he's a much better shooter than this person. But you know what they call him out there? Did you read this already?
I have not. I have no idea. What do they call him?
They call him the Jonathan Kuminga of the Eastern Conference. Basically, he comes in the game. I think Kuminga is a good defender. I think it's more about how willing he is. But he comes in the game. He slows the game down. It's the Benedict Mathurin show. He can shoot. So, different than Kuminga. He's not a Skywalker like Kuminga, but he just wants to get in there, shoot a bunch of threes, kind of hog the ball. And this is part of the it's a very low, less talked about version of the Kuminga thing. And I didn't really know that he was looked at this negatively. He played 72 games, 16, on paper, just like Kuminga.
Yeah. 16
points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, 1.9 assists per game, 45 from the field, 34 from three, 83% from the free throw. I thought he was better from three-point range. Took 4 threes a game. And, yeah, the Pacers are willing to see what else is out there because he does not fit the mold of where the league is going. And as far as I'm concerned, based on what I've seen, he is not as athletic as Jonathan Kuminga. And he is 23. He's from Canada. He is 23, but he's from Canada. Went to NBA Academy Latin America.
It's very complicated.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway.
We've done this before.
Okay.
It's very complicated.
6th overall pick. Kuminga was the 7th overall pick. So a lot of Basketball Reference does say 6'6", but yeah, he's at best you're going to get him at a 3, very similar to Nick Clifford. So I don't know, Kyle. I wanted to be interested in him, but he's not big enough. Seems like he does not play the style of basketball that he needs to play. He's not a willing defender. So maybe somebody will convince him, but he did have what's funny is he had moments during the playoffs that made Warriors fans say, this is what happens when you buy in. And I distinctly remember that because he'd come in, he'd do his job, and he'd get subbed out. Warrior fans were saying, we need Kuminga to do this. Meanwhile, Pacer fans are saying, yeah, he did it for a little bit, but he's actually the Jonathan Kuminga of the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I literally remember that in the finals. And now it makes so much sense when you say it that way because what was it, that game 3 in Indiana, he had 29 points and led the team in scoring in a game of the NBA Finals that they won. And then the very next night, he got subbed in and had the worst defensive 3 minutes I've ever seen, where every single time they just picked on him, he committed fouls, he committed turnovers. They had Shea take the ball up the floor, and they somehow had him guarding Shea all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They truly was he won them game 3 and cost them game 4, and it ended up being a net neutral. So I guess that does make sense in a way that he's kind of viewed that way. I've always kind of said he's kind of like Malik Monk for them in the most complimentary way. I'm not saying it to be wow, that's insulting to Malik slowing down the offense. I'm saying complimentary. He is 23 years old and plays the Malik Monk role very well on a team that has gone farther in the playoffs than any team Malik Monk has ever played for. But I don't even know what I would try and offer him. But I'd also try and lowball him now because, what happens this year if he has a Kuminga season where he just goes up, or a Trey Murphy season where he goes up to 20 points per game because he's just chucking on a bad team?
I think if you're the Pacers, they'd probably say the Pacers are in a weird spot because all these guys are going to get time, but they're also going to look at it and say, this is not who we are. Very similar to Kuminga without Steph, right? At the end of the season when he's going off against the Timberwolves because they were just letting him take all the layups he wanted, and everybody can say, well, Kuminga averaged 20 in the playoffs, but I don't think the Warriors are looking at it that way.
Also, if I'm trying to figure out what the Pacers need to do for when Halliburton's back, they got to get a Miles Turner replacement.
Yeah.
And giving Mathurin $20 to $25 million a year doesn't really solve that problem.
No. When we return, 1 o'clock hour coming up, we do have NFL, but first, this former King is available. Is he too tall and too young? We'll tell you who it is. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
For the latest from Kings training camp.
Tune in to Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger, Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm a plumber and needed to get work in the door.
So business was going down the drain?
Yeah, I went to Staples. They printed yard signs, business cards, even flyers to leave at supply stores.
But at what cost, man?
Well, I saved $125 on my order, and now I'm booked solid. Boom!
Back at ya. For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. Ends 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Drive Into Fall event?
When it comes to getting the right truck, options are important. So this month at Hoblet, you have two options that will save you thousands. Right now, save up to $9,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cabs. Or you can save thousands on finance charges with 0% interest for 60 months.
I'm sorry, did you just say 0% financing? I thought those days were long gone.
Not at Hoblet. We're always looking for ways to save you money. Plus, we have Northern California's best selection of Ram trucks with hundreds of new Rams available.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
9,000 total net savings on select new 2026 Ram 1500 Laramie after 6,000 factory rebates and 3,500 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 select inventory bonus cash, 500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit. Special 0% for 60-month financing in lieu of rebates. No down payment required on approved credit. Must have 700 plus FICO to qualify. 1666 per thousand borrowed. 5% savings. See dealer for details.
The statewide special election is November 4th. All registered voters will receive their ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
1 o'clock on the dot. One more hour with you. Whitey Gleason will join us. I'm going to be honest with you. I do know who is going to be on the Drive Guys tomorrow, but I do not know who is going to be on the Drive Guys today, along with Whitey. I do not know that.
I don't know either, so your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, so hang around. It'll be quite the surprise. And we are going to get to a little bit of NFL talk in a second here because I'm very fascinated. This is probably the most, and I don't know if it's just come with age or as I continue to be more disconnected from the Raiders because of how bad they are, but this is the most invested I've been in random NFL teams in a very long time. Maybe it's because I'm at home more because I got the kiddos, so I'm not running around and, brunching, going to brunch and going to, well, I don't know if I can say that on the air, beverage festivals. We were big back in the day on beverage festivals. You go, you pay your $50, you get unlimited beverages. We were just talking about this, what we would do if we were 20, you got a week to be 25 again, what we would do. And we were very big on the beverage festivals. They would have them down in the marina. in San Francisco. You would go, you get your little cup, it's a little bigger than a shot glass, and you try out all the different beverages. You're there, you pay for 3 hours or 2 different sets, and then you're stuck because the marina, it's terrible. It's really hard to get back to the East Bay. We were in Oakland, so it was an all-day event. I said, that's at the top of my list. Also playing a little bit of basketball, and my wife said, got to run back a music festival. I said, look, no. We can still go to music festivals. We're not done yet, okay? We are not done yet.
Just be washed. Go to the music festivals and be washed.
Well, that's right. That's right. Get the headphones for the kiddos and, hey, you guys see is there any coloring areas around here? No, it's Coachella. Get out of here.
Also, beverage festival, that is a very millennial thing, I feel like. I don't think
all the different beverages.
I don't think that's really continued to my generation, shall we say.
No, they have. To your point, I think now it's an older crowd.
Now it's millennials who are going.
When we were doing it, like I said, we were 24, 25 years old. Now I think they're still having them, but your kids might be honestly, your kids, they think the same. Back in my day, it was a little bit different.
So it's not something that you graduated out of. It's just the same people who were going at 25 are going at 35.
That's my guess. That's what it feels like.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Also, my generation is just a bunch of Jalen Williamses that have all.
You guys are just streaming somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. We're all just antisocial, depressed people instead.
You said it, not me. As we got some NFL to get to, as I'm very, very invested in the NFL this season. But first, there is a name, an available former King that is floating around. And I got to tell you, I'm not trying to start anything. Kyle and I were trying to decide how we wanted to kind of go about this situation. If we wanted to bring up maybe can you still acquire this guy if we move on from a Doug McDermott? But off the top of our head, we'll probably look at it a little bit more and get to it in a different capacity tomorrow. But as far as the numbers are concerned and the cap and the salary cap and the luxury tax, we wanted to just do it a different way. And the question is simple. As the Nuggets have moved on from 6'7" Kessler Edwards, who is still only 25 years old now, obviously that timing worked out in a certain way, but with the injury to Keegan Murray, would it have made more sense? Because this stuff is going to happen, right? With all of the names that became available, 916-339-1140. My question to you is, would you have rather the Kings acquired or reacquired Kessler Edwards than sign Russell Westbrook? He would have been able to help out in that 4 position. He's 6'7". He played some center for the Mavericks. We know that offensively he never really figured it out, but he would be a bit of a stopgap. And I guess the better question is, who's better? And let's just go through the list of the 4s right now. Is Kessler Edwards better than Dario Saric?
I guess when last we saw both of them, yes.
Is Kessler Edwards better than Maxime Reynaud?
Unclear because Maxime hasn't played an NBA game yet.
I'd have to say yes, though, just because of that.
Maybe. Maybe Maxime's awesome. Who knows?
Is Kessler Edwards better than Isaac Jones?
Yes. But I also understand that Isaac Jones is younger and possibly has a higher ceiling.
Is he? Is he younger?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Kessler's not a spring chicken.
Brother. What did I tell you? They're both 25.
Jesus. For some reason. So wait, that's crazy now. Now I'm going back in my head now. So Kessler was...
He is bigger than Kessler, but they're the same age.
So imagine this. When Kessler Edwards was the big trade deadline acquisition the Kings made during the Beam Team season, they were trading for him at 22. The Kings don't have a single player on their team that is younger than Kessler Edwards when his first team gave up on him. Like, Brooklyn gave up on Kessler Edwards and sent him to Sacramento, and he was still younger than any player on this current Sacramento Kings team.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one. I feel like My answer is no.
Is this still Isaac Jones?
Yeah, I feel. Or
are you going back to Westbrook?
I think, as much as I've been the one saying that the Kings should have gotten some more size, if it's between Kessler Edwards and Russell Westbrook, I'd probably just take Russell Westbrook and make sure I'm giving the keys. I'd rather give the keys because you know me, I'm always thinking ahead. It's not necessarily about winning the games. I'd more so say give the keys to Isaac Jones and Maxime Reynaud and see what happens, right? That I'd rather go in that direction than, and if you need to bring in Westbrook because I guess nobody can dribble a basketball on the Kings besides Dennis Schroeder, fine. I guess I'd rather see what we can do with Isaac Jones and Maxime Reynaud rather than bring in somebody that I'm not sure is better than them. And really now you're just platooning all three. Let's just have our two young guys that we've invested in and go from there. So I'm actually going to say that I'm good with what the Kings did. There are guys out there that I would have rather taken than Russell Westbrook. I just don't know that Kessler Edwards is one of them.
Yeah, here's where I'm struggling with it. Kessler Edwards got a bunch of chances to make it work in Sacramento.
And he actually played pretty well for the Mavericks when it was the G League. He played center.
Yeah, he was playing center for the Mavericks, who were just trying to piece everything together. And then they couldn't sign him because they were literally ineligible to sign him to a full NBA contract. So I just think they've already kind of been there, done that with Kessler Edwards. The reason I would bring in Kessler Edwards is as a temporary Keegan replacement, because we know Kessler Edwards can play a little bit of four, and we know Kessler Edwards can defend.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think if you brought him in on like a 10-day contract just to fill the gap, I think that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I'm not deprioritizing the development of an Isaac Jones or a Maxime Reynaud to give a roster spot to Kessler Edwards, I think is the bigger thing. But I would have said the same thing about Russell Westbrook, so maybe that's not answering the question.
Yeah, the problem is, it's more about, honestly, is it as much about Maxime as it is Isaac Jones? I think I want Maxime to be put in the best situation, and if you bury him deeper with Kessler on the squad, because none of those three can play the three.
Yeah, I just think Kessler would be the one getting buried. Like, Kessler's only going in because, like, you need defense at the 3 or 4 position, which...
But then why bring him in?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Unless it's again, because, let's say, even if you play Nick Clifford at the 4... you might still need more production from the 4 position. Like, that's how decimated by injuries they kind of are. By the way, you mentioned Isaac Jones. Frankie Cardicelli just tweeted out from practice
We bring the boom. That's what we do.
That Isaac Jones is now sick. So he was a non-participant today.
So, okay.
Also, Dennis Schroeder, who went down with that injury on Friday, was a non-contact participant in practice today. So he practiced, but he didn't do contact 5-on-5 drills.
Okay.
But again, that's kind of the point, right? Is like, if Isaac can play, I'd rather put Isaac or Maxime at the 4 position than bring in Kessler Edwards. The thing is, though, do you have the defensive ability from either of those guys that Kessler has?
Here's the other thing, too. Now, I said I'd rather not add Kessler because I want to give time to Isaac Jones and to Maxime Reynaud. If Dario Saric ends up playing 20-plus minutes, then that also is not ideal for me. I don't care if you beat the Suns and the Jazz. That's not a world I want to live in. Now, that might be the world that they do live in, but I would rather bring in Kessler Edwards and see if he finally figures it out on this 12th team than Dario Saric. That's how I feel about it.
That, I think, is fair. And, again, we just assume they're going to start Dario Saric. I wouldn't start Dario Saric, but I understand he's still on the team for the same reason Kevin Love is still on the Jazz, right? Like, he can play some minutes, but he's ultimately just a contract match to make trades at this point. So I wouldn't think too much about whether Dario Saric has X role or Y role at this point. Like, he might play some minutes, but we kind of know what that is at this point. It's the first chance they get to move him in a trade, they will move him as salary filler.
Yeah. But, you see a former King, his name pop up, and obviously it was something that was a bit intriguing. Once you boil it all down, though, you already got your young guys that I'd probably rather give time to. I'd rather him get time than Dario Saric, but if you're not investing in Kessler anyway, just complain about Dario Saric getting playing time. You don't have to then add Kessler Edwards to the mix. Just say, hey, this should be flipped. And if Dario's playing well, okay, then I get it.
Maybe we're still one more injury away from doing the 10-day contract thing with Kessler Edwards or any of those guys. I saw someone on the Sac chat mention Precious Achiuwa also.
Yeah, people just said he's done.
Yeah, I mean he got waived. So any of these guys that you wanted to bring in on a temporary 10-day contract, if it gets to the point where it's like, okay, Keegan's still out, Sabonis is still out, someone else goes down, and we just need anything out the defensive side of the ball on the 4 or 5 position, maybe that's the time to think about a 10-day. But like, if you're asking me, would I rather give a roster spot to Russell Westbrook or Kessler Edwards, I'm going to go with Russell Westbrook because I know Russell Westbrook's going to play 15 minutes a game on this team. For better or for worse.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not. Kessler Edwards might play that right now, but one is a future Hall of Famer who has the cachet and pedigree across the league, and the other is Kessler Edwards.
Yeah, Kessler to me just was, I guess, fairly close to figuring it out, but again, just a tweener, just a bit of a tweener where he could do certain things. He was supposed to be 3-and-D, but mobility-wise, for being 6'7", he moves like he's a little bigger than 6'7", and he doesn't shoot it the way I think he would need to shoot it at 6'7". No, thank you. It's close, but no, thank you.
But he did play during Game 7 and many of those playoff games for the Sacramento Kings during the Beam Team run. So
he's a younger man back then.
Yeah, he was 22 years old, literally younger than any player currently on the Sacramento Kings, other than Maxime, who's 22. But like technically, Kessler was younger when he got to the Kings than Maxime is now by months. So look, good on Kessler Edwards, forever a Beam Teamer, right? We're always going to have a special place in our heart because you are forever part of the original team that broke the curse. But absolutely, well, I guess we don't even have to say absolutely not at this point because there's no way for them to add him.
Now, I will say this. If there was a world, and this is what we were discussing during the break, as far as the cap is concerned and things like that, would I rather have 25-year-old Kessler Edwards than 30-whatever-year-old Doug McDermott if it was that easy to do? Probably. I mean, I'd rather have his defense in a pinch, just simply, and that's no disrespect. I love having Doug on the show. We've had Doug McBuckets on the show multiple times, but he's just not going to play. So, yeah, we love Doug. But I'm not doing the vet thing because they got 8,000 vets. So if I could swap Kessler Edwards for Dougie McBuckets, I would do it. But it's not that simple.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't know Kessler Edwards would be available at that time. Because Kessler Edwards was on, what team waived him? I don't even know. Where did he come from?
He was on the Nuggets.
Okay, so he was with the Nuggets and thought maybe he was going to be on the team. So they signed Dougie to a 1-year deal, which is fine. I mean, Doug is the deep bench guy on this team, just like he was last year. He's kind of the Jay Crowder this year in a roundabout. I know he was kind of the Jay Crowder last year, but this year he is definitely the Jay Crowder on this team.
Yeah, and there are a couple different ways that the Kings could have went with this. None of it matters if you come off and you win games, and that all starts on Wednesday. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. The Nuggets, by the way, who just signed Christian Brown, a lot of guys getting signed. But the Nuggets, they're so funny because it feels like they have a ton of guys on their team. Feels like they're just always signing somebody.
And you hate all of them.
I don't hate all of them.
Just the young ones.
I do dislike some of them just from a player's standpoint. You know what I've been waiting to hear, Kyle, as well? Nobody has chimed in. You know you're washed when nobody has chimed in on the text line yet. And I think this happened on Friday when I was leaving out the building. I saw that the Jazz waived Mo Bamba.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, the worst player to have a song named about him ever.
The funny thing about that now is that song is like anthem song, like all college football weekend. Every time they're doing the kickoff, I just hear the oh, and I'm like, that's crazy that song is the new whoa.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that if a song gets made about you, you will be a bust. Johnny Manziel, Drake made that song, or it was called Draft Day, but Johnny Manziel was featured in that song. Bust. Mo Bamba, bust.
Tyler Hero?
On the Heat.
I don't know. Which, again, we said this earlier. If you want to feel old, 5 years ago Wednesday was when they released the Tyler Hero song.
Yeah.
At least that made me feel old.
Kyler, the Kings missing out. Also, what happened? This was a name that I know Ramsey was really big on, and a couple others. He is only 6'5", and he's 24. But Johnny Juzang, two-way deal to the Timberwolves.
I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything.
Okay. I'm just checking in.
Him and Jaime Jaquez did good in college together.
Yeah. Can't get Jaime? Get Johnny Juzang.
Sure. Don't feel like I'm missing out on anything there.
I just have to make sure because, you know.
Also, to your point about the Nuggets and just having random guys, I don't think DeAndre Jordan's not there anymore, right?
There's no way.
I don't think so.
There's no way.
But he was always the one that was the most random. Like now they've got like Tim Hardaway Jr., which also feels random, but I don't think DeAndre Jordan's
I think
there.
it's his last played, so I think he is.
We finally put him.
I don't know that he's officially retired, but he's retired.
We can finally lay him to rest.
Yeah.
Even though he probably should have been out of the league 5 years ago.
You know what, though? Isn't it kind of weird that and I don't know if weird is the right word, but that the Kings didn't at least just take a flyer on one of these kind of younger, like I said, this is what we complained about on Friday. They're out here getting guys that are 27, 28 years old. I mean, why not go get a Johnny Juzang or somebody like that? I mean, they didn't get any. Well, why didn't they just bring in a couple second or third draft guys just to see if somebody figures it out? I know it's not, probably nothing's going to happen, but I would still prefer that. Like, go get Johnny Juzang instead of some 28-year-old.
I mean, relatively speaking, compared to this roster, Doug McDermott is younger than a lot of the guys they're going to field this year. So,
how old is he?
He's 33. He's technically younger than other players on the roster who are going to get minutes.
Just two is literally there. I don't even think the Kings are the unction like the Clippers and the Warriors.
No, that's what's so annoying is that they're doing the unction worse than the teams that are actually doing the unction.
They only have two old guys on the team.
I mean, Levine is 30, Sabonis is 30, Doug McDermott is 33.
Sabonis is not 30.
Sabonis is 29. He's going to turn 30. Dennis Schroeder's 31.
Yeah, I guess I forgot about Schroeder. Schroeder, I'm only counting. You need not even 30. You need to have a number. You need to be 31 or older. We're dealing with the Clippers and the Warriors. Those brothers are 38.
But that's my point, is that the Clippers and Warriors are going to be better than the Kings and older, which means this is what's annoying about the Kings. They're doing the unction, but they're the third best of the unctions. Like, even in Kings world, they still can't be better. They're still worse than the Clippers or Warriors at doing the unction thing. They're taking the players those teams don't want for their unction.
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels like they could have went out and found, again, I'm not going to sit here and spend a bunch of time. Somebody on the text line said, Allen, there's no other radio show talking about the last player on the bench. The Kings need to stop wasting their time with Devin Carter. Well, it's not that simple. I understand what you're saying, but it's not that simple when that last player on the bench was the 13th overall pick a year ago. It is not that simple. If the last person on the bench was a two-way, something like that, then yeah, you'd be more spot on there, but it's not as easy as saying, oh, he's the last guy on the bench. And he's not the last guy on the bench, by the way, Devin Carter. He's not.
No, Doug McDermott is.
Doug McDermott
who we're also
is.
talking about.
Yes. Yeah, give me Kessler Edwards for Doug.
Oh, Alan, we did forget about something because you were saying like you're trying to go after those 25, 26-year-old second or third
just
draft
floating
guys.
around. Let's see what's up.
Well, the Kings did do one, and he's going to get significant minutes because we got Drew Eubanks in his bag work.
I don't need you to have the bag work.
How old is Drew Eubanks?
Drew Eubanks, 28.
No, too old.
No, he's third draft guy. And what did he tell us at Media Day? He's going to unlock his offensive bag this year.
I think we're good. I think I'm cool off that.
I mean, that's what you were looking for?
I'm looking for 24 to 26. That's what I'm looking for.
So Eubanks is fourth draft?
No, he's too old. He's too old. He's just another one of the Kings signees. With Daquan Jeffries, I'm going to run into this guy, and you're going to be like, man, I'm going to be like, look, man, I'm older than you. I'm just.
Dude, Daquan Jeffries? Jesus. How old do you think Daquan Jeffries is?
He's 28. I know he is. Because we looked it up on Friday when I was complaining. Hey, man, I'm really proud of you. I just wanted to say, if we were talking about, it was taken out of context.
Yeah, you can't go down to Stockton.
No, I can't.
You made fun of the whole Stockton team. Like, why are they all 28 and 30?
Alan, you got Baby Race in Stockton. Yeah, I can't make it.
Is Jake Elmore still there? Is our guy Jake? Did Jake Elmore finally go overseas?
There's no way.
He was on the Summer League roster. We made fun of that. Is Jake Elmore still going to be around?
You were more upset about that than I was about Giannis and his 4 brothers on the Bucks. You were hot about that.
Sorry, John Elmore. Jake Elmore's a baseball player, but John Elmore.
He's gone. He's in Spain.
Yes, he finally went overseas. He's in Turkey.
Keep working, John. You'll get there. 916.
Well, actually, it just says he signed in Turkey. It doesn't actually say anything else other than that on his Wikipedia.
Okay. Shout out to Elmore. When we return, the Niners continue to roll. The Raiders continue to be terrible. And what is going on with the quote-unquote parity within the NFL? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Game night in Sacramento? Light up your night at Revival at the Sawyer. This rooftop hotspot is where the city comes alive. Elevated vibes, stylish crowd, and the perfect view of the Golden One Center. Celebrate the wins, escape the chaos, and be part of the scene before, during, and after every Kings game. Revival, the place to see and be seen. When the final buzzer sounds, the energy doesn't stop. It just moves upstairs. Join fellow fans, stay close to the action, and make every Kings night unforgettable. Book your game day reservation at revivalsacramento.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
30 minutes, the Drive guys will have ya. In 15 minutes, Whitey Gleason will join us. And there's plenty when it comes to the NFL. The Raiders getting completely embarrassed by the Chiefs. Pete Carroll didn't see this coming, but everybody else did. Okay, huge win for the Niners. Christian McCaffrey goes for 200 yards of offense. And how about the Miami Dolphins? The only team in a worse situation than the Raiders might be. Are those the two worst situations?
Titans are pretty bad.
Yeah, no. But they got the young quarterback. This is when they're supposed to stink. They got Calvin Ridley skeleton, and they have Cam Ward.
Yeah.
And they have two RB2s. They do not have a RB1 running back.
I guess you're making the point that Cam Ward will save everything for
I'm
them.
making the point that they're supposed to stink right now.
Okay.
Tyjae Spears and Tony Pollard. These are two offset backs.
So
two offset backs do not make one actual running back.
All right, so then I'll raise you this. Do you feel the same way about Dylan Gabriel and the Browns? Or is that a worse
Better situation.
Better?
Better.
Okay.
But not by much. Now, we're ignoring Deshaun Watson.
Well, he's never going to play for them again, so don't worry.
So I'll ignore that.
Yeah, it's never great. Going back to the Dolphins, it's never great when Ian Rappaport has to put out a tweet that says, well, they're not firing their coach or GM today because the whole league was just assuming they would fire McDaniel after losing 31-6 to the Browns.
I mean, Tua, and I know, you know what's so weird is when you want to be hard on Tua, and the first thing I think is, hey, well, he's been through, a lot with the head injuries and things like that. But then on the flip side, I'm thinking, well, he's still playing. So clearly they think he's fine enough to play. So I should be able to be as hard on Tua as I am on other quarterbacks. But that when I hear some of his statements that sound a little gibberishy, and I'm thinking, can I rip him for this? Or is there something going on, but he's still playing football? I just don't know what to do.
It's so funny that you said that because I was listening to Nick Wright on a podcast the other day, and he made that exact same point. Is like so much of our evaluation with Tua is colored by the fact that we know he is risking great damage to his health in order to continue to play football. He made the comparison. It's almost like when DeMar Hamlin tried to run the fake punt in the playoffs that one year. Like, we should be making fun of that for the rest of time, that Sean McDermott thought he was going to get the hero's moment of running a fake punt with DeMar Hamlin, but we're not going to make fun of it because DeMar Hamlin is risking great health, and basically we watched him die on the field and has come back. So I think that is coloring some of the analysis with Tua, is that people recognize just how much he's in danger to himself when he plays football.
Yeah. And that, I mean, obviously that was not, I've been taking in a lot of NFL that I have, because the Raiders have been so bad. Yeah, I didn't catch that game, though. I caught what I needed to catch on Red Zone, but did not catch Browns, Dolphins. I think nobody knows.
It wasn't on the Red Zone much.
No, nobody knows what to do with Dylan Gabriel. I guess he looked okay.
I would have said he looked better than Flacco, but that's not even true anymore.
Yeah, and there's that going on. The rest of the NFL, it was a pretty you know what's coming up next, Kyle, or what we're going to talk about in a couple days? I'll just say the collective we is we're going to do the thing with the Cowboys again because they embarrassed Mariota, and Schmal and Miles really needed 2 more yards from Zach Ertz, but Schmal and Miles didn't get 2 more yards from Zach Ertz, and there was still 8 minutes left, but the Commanders said uncle. So we're going to do that. This is classic Cowboys. They come out, lose early. Nobody talks about them. They beat bad teams because I think the Commanders had some question marks anyway. And now we are in the cycle where we will start to care about the Cowboys again. And then they will, whatever their next big game is, they will lose.
I feel like the Cowboys are just destined. Now that they have the tie, this can actually happen. I feel like they're just destined to go 8-8-1. Like, in a sport that now has an odd number of games, they're somehow going to end up 500. Like, let's see who the Cowboys play next.
The Giants have the Eagles again already next week. That's a quick turnaround.
Cowboys are at the Broncos.
See?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Then they got home against the Cardinals on Monday Night Football. That's Cardinals coming off a bye week, too, so
They'll
sure.
win that one.
Yeah, and then they are at the Raiders.
Okay. They're at the Raiders, the Cowboys?
Yeah, Cowboys are at the Raiders.
When is that?
That is November 17th. I think that's a Monday Night Football game.
I might go to that.
You want to go on a Monday night?
I might be going.
Yeah, it looks like it's a Monday Night Football game. And then they host the Eagles.
Oh, Lord.
And then their Thursday Thanksgiving game against Mahomes in Kansas City.
Yeah, the Cowboys are. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. This little stretch here is where people will, hey, Cowboys, Dak, and then they'll play real teams.
Ooh, doesn't get any easier. Then Thursday night against the Lions.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to go 3-3 in that stretch, though, right? Like, this is all headed to the Cowboys being exactly 500.
I'll tell you what. This is a big night for the Lions. I think this is a huge night for the Lions. You got embarrassed last week. Not a crazy embarrassment, not Raiders level, but you got handled last week against the Chiefs.
Half your secondary is hurt and the other half is suspended now.
You were, there was the whole extracurricular activity after the game. There was some pushing, some shoving, some punching. There was the set gate because the question was, did Jared Goff come set, right? So there was that whole thing that happened. Can you beat the Bucs? And the Bucs, they're getting some of their guys back. I think Mike Evans is going to play tonight, so the Bucs are getting some guys back. It's in Detroit. It's a double-decker of Monday Night Football. If you are the Bucs, or excuse me, if you're the Lions, if you don't win this game, as we joked about I wasn't joking, but as we talked about the Falcons and how there are classes to this, if the Lions lose tonight, and I get it, they're injured, Kyle, but the Bucs were injured. The Bucs have been injured this whole time. If the Lions don't win tonight, I might be dropping them to a class in between the Seahawks, Falcons, you know what I mean? The Seahawks and the Niners and Bucs. If they don't win tonight, you're getting a lot of these games because everybody, okay, you're a good team, right? If they don't win tonight, I'm thinking, I don't know who in the NFC are the Bucs better than, or are the Lions better than, that everybody thinks is a legit contender. I don't know.
The Cowboys.
They're not a legit contender, though.
I don't know. The Cowboys, you were saying we're going to do the thing with the Cowboys.
Yeah, for 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll do it for 2 weeks.
Well, the NFC is just a giant jumble bucket. We talked about this with Whitey. Like, there's 10 teams in the NFC that could be good, none of which have been able to separate themselves from each other. That continues to still be true. If you had to ask me today who's the best team in the NFC, I guess I'd say the Eagles, but it's either...
I think it's the Niners.
I think it's the Bucs.
Well, yes, I do, yes. And I told y'all to take, what was it, plus 1,800 on the Bucks 2 weeks ago? That's cooked now.
No, Bucks are not winning the NFC. I promise you, the Bucks are not going to win.
You know what? I'll take another crunch wrap. I'll take that Y2K, that double-decker taco.
You believe the Bucks are going to win the NFC?
I believe I like the plus 1,800.
See, that's a different question.
What is it now? Can you check that real quick?
Yeah.
It probably changed. If you're going to take the Bucks, you should do it tonight or today, because if they beat the Lions, that's going to change a lot.
All right, let's see the jumble bucket of NFC. Okay, temporarily unavailable. Let's try another one.
No, I'll just do it.
Here we go. Okay, so let's use, this is DraftKings. You've got tied for the favorites are the Packers and Lions at plus 425. You got the Rams plus 450. Eagles. The Lions and Packers are tied for the best odds. This is DraftKings. 425. Rams plus 450. Eagles plus 550. Bucks plus 800. Then Niners plus 1,000.
Oh, give me the Niners.
Come on.
Whoa.
With no Fred Warner and no Nick Bosa.
I'm telling you, every time they lose someone, they get better.
That's not true.
It's the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, so relatively similar. ESPN bet has Packers as the favorites at plus 350, Lions plus 400, Rams 600, or Eagles 500, Rams 600, Bucks 800, 49ers 1,000.
Wow.
So the Packers, we said who's the best team in the NFC. We listed 3 teams, and none of them were the Packers.
I don't trust the Pack. The Pack, come on.
You just hate Jordan Love.
Because he was my fantasy QB last season, and he did absolutely nothing for me.
Well, he's doing a lot this year.
Yeah, until it matters.
Golden's doing good.
9-7-0. Parlay the Niners Super Bowl and Kings to win the season cup. It's a nice one. This is from the 9-7-0 is from Colorado. Let me be nice here. 9-7-0. You know why it's a nice one? Because it's probably not gonna happen. I'll meet you halfway at the Niners Super Bowl. My issue is the cup. My issue is the Kings winning the in-season cup. I'm not gonna knock you 9-7-0 because that cup, they do not care. They do not care if teams essentially revolt and just don't care about the cup.
We do not care.
Yeah, I don't know. Now 9-7-0 might be onto something. I'm gonna fire that up. I mean, Schmal and Miles is gonna fire that up in the app.
Could I see if there's odds on the in-season tournament? Like, where are you going to get in-season tournament now?
They're out there. They're out there. The 916 says, "Too bad the Cowboys don't have a cupcake schedule like the Niners." You're not wrong, 916. You're not wrong. 530 says, "Allen, I'm tuning in late today. Did you check out Apple Hill and High Hill Ranch? The Niners showed a lot of character today." That's Joe from the 530. Joe, I went to Fog Willow, so shout out to Fog Willow. Somebody put that on the chat. It was closer, and I know people were trying to get on me. The only reason I didn't go to Apple Hill is because my wife said she went on Reddit, and going on a Saturday would have just been, let's just say, a not fun experience. We would have had to leave at 7 in the morning. She just said it was not something that we wanted to do with our time. So Fog Willow was about 20 minutes closer, not as it was really crowded, but from what Carmichael Dave said, yeah, you made the right call. So thank you to whoever it was. I didn't write it down, but thank you to whoever it was that said to go to Fog Willow. Baby Siles had a great time. We were on the hay. There was mazes. We didn't get to do the gold mining, but we're probably going to go back because it was a lot of fun. So appreciate it, but did not get to Apple Hill yet. My wife said we need to go on a weekday. So we will go on a weekday. Also, the last note, this one's for you, Kyle. Just so y'all know, from the 916, John Elmore is playing again with the Stockton Kings. And may I also remind you that the Stockton Kings won the championship last season.
Oh, yeah, the Stockton Kings are good. We're just making the point they're all 28-30.
Yeah, I don't know. Thank you, 916.
Yes. Also, Real GM, this is from a story. September 25th, the Kings signed John Elmore to a training camp invite. He's expected to join the Stockton Kings.
And how old is he? Did you give me that age?
He was in college basketball when I was in high school. That's my reference point for John Elmore. He is 29. He's going to turn 30.
During the season?
Yeah, he will turn 30 December 20th. As we pointed out,
Go get Johnny Juzang.
What, to go to Stockton?
Yes, it's too late now because we got Johnny Elmore.
And who's the other? Don't we have another 20? Oh, Terrence Davis.
And who I said earlier, who they just signed. Who I've been joking
Daquan Jeffries.
Daquan Jeffries.
Yeah, the oldest G League team ever assembled. It's look, Allen, when you've won 3 consecutive conference championships, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, thank you 916, but I'd rather just see some young guys get some work in. That's where I'm at. All right, and now somebody's saying, "Show me the cupcake games the Niners have played so far." Well, we'll have to talk about tomorrow because you might be right, 916. The cupcake games are coming up. That's why I told y'all. Just like I told my buddy who is listening, he was texting in saying Kyle was wrong about what did he say? Kyle was wrong about Westbrook being a first ballot Hall of Famer. I said, I don't know, man. But what I wasn't wrong about was 11 wins for the San Francisco 49ers. Am I counting the chickens before they hatch? Maybe. Whitey Gleason and Phantom join us to close out this show. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, October 25th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
For 77 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
I'm feeling good about this one. Schmal and Miles is feeling good about this one. And first things first, Whitey Gleason and Phantom join us. What is it, basically an NFL preview?
Pretty much.
Okay.
We got a lot of ground to cover.
A lot?
Yeah.
A lot in a little bit of time.
I just real quick want to let you know, today I went to the post office for something. Across the street from the post office, there's this guy in front of a house. The house has lots of Halloween decorations, lots of them. And he's got a tent.
Okay.
And he's playing the radio really loud. And I'm trying to mind my own business. And I think welcome on in. He's yelling at me across the street. I think he was listening to you guys.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know what he was doing.
We're global. Was it a house?
He was in front of the house, and there was a tent that he had in front of the house, like one of our, we have
like
a remote.
Tabling. Yes.
Yeah, and he had I don't know what, I didn't want to look too close because I didn't want to.
Were there people there?
Nobody. No.
So you're huge in tents.
Wow.
You guys are killing the tent
Yeah, Whitey could tell because they were yelling about Rob Pelinka as the fairy godmother.
Yeah. And it was quite the show today.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you were a big fan of it.
Strike one. Alan, starting the show, Phantom, by saying, these first two games are must-win games.
They are.
I am so on his side. It's unbelievable.
They
Absolutely.
are.
Strike one.
And they should win them both.
Thank you.
Strike two. The Raiders, if they're not careful, they're going to start to damage the brand.
Yeah.
They've been doing that for 7 years.
Not the same.
Strike two.
17.
At least.
The same way, White.
And then, Devin Carter's kind of like Cinderella. I watched it with my daughter last night.
What is that now? Yeah.
They won't let him go to the ball.
That's how Rob Pelinka ended up as the fairy godmother.
Yeah. And you had Neat Clifford and Maxime Renault. Are they the stepsisters?
The stepsisters, yes.
Oh, evil.
No, Keon.
Oh, Keon.
I don't think it was
mine?
Keon.
Yeah. I want to know. I heard you coming in, of course, to listen all the time. I heard you talk about giving the keys to Isaac Jones and Maxime Renault. And I'm like, what car?
No.
What car are you giving them the keys to?
Not
the
Ford.
SUV.
Not the Ford. The Ford.
Oh, you're giving them the 300,000-mile Honda?
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right. The Ford while Keegan's out.
Okay.
So because, instead of...
it's a loaner then.
Yeah. It's a loaner.
So it's a rental.
A loaner. I'd rather
they're not old enough to rent, but still.
I'd rather see them than a lot of Dario Saric was my point.
I see what you're saying.
That's where I'm going, all right? Where we're going right now. All right, Kyle, I'm still ice cold, but
that's really
we're going to heat up today.
Because Alan always loves the white forwards. I don't know why.
Well, where is he? Where is Grant Nelson now? Where is he now? All right, Kyle, let's get prop talk going. Okay, look, I'm going to say this one time only. I think I'm done with the running back receiving yards for now.
Not even with Charbonnet?
No, they split too much between Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker. So I've moved on from the running back receiving
I
yards.
thought it was going to put your kids through college.
It was.
Or Schmel and Miles or
no,
whatever.
this is my theory.
Yeah.
Schmallen was hitting early.
You get that confused.
Okay. Schmallen was hitting early because early in the season, still getting the offense is not fully baked out.
Right.
So let's just do a bunch of check downs.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely.
So now that we're in week 7, offenses are finding their way and they're checking down less, and Schmallen Miles is just not hitting. Not hitting the same way. So I've moved on, Kyle. Should I do both or just do one?
Let's do both.
Okay. So I moved on from running back props to the second safest pick. It's time for my tight ends, baby.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to say wide receiver 3 overs.
No. Well, yeah. You parlay a tight end with a wide receiver with about 15 yards.
We got Tez Johnson tonight.
And again, when you say you mean Schmel.
Schmallen, of course.
Not you, no.
Okay, Kyle, so give me Sam Laporta, 48.5. That's my number 1. Phantom says add on an anytime touchdown to that.
Absolutely.
And in game number 2, this guy hasn't done me wrong once, so I'm probably jinxing it. Give me A.J. Barner. Wouldn't know him if I saw him without his helmet on, but he's been helping Schmal and Miles. Give me A.J. Barner, 24.5. It's a tight end Monday. I wanted to say Tuesday, but it ain't Tuesday yet.
Well, Allen, technically this is the beginning of National Tight Ends Week.
There, see?
Oh, yeah.
This guy gets it.
Yeah.
This guy gets it. Give me those 2. And let's rock and roll.
You're not going to believe this, but I also had Sam Laporta.
Oh, no.
48.5.
Oh, no.
We're all in on the tight ends, Allen.
Switch now.
Sam Laporta, 48.5, baby. What do you mean? I'm the one who wins every time.
That's true.
My advice ends up working.
Hey, Schmallen, or if Schmallen's listening.
Yeah, he is.
What's the number on Baker Mayfield touchdowns?
Baker Mayfield.
Phantom was asking about that earlier.
Baker Mayfield, they have a little goblin for 1.5, which means that it's a lesser payout.
Ooh.
So they either make you do 1.5 or they give you a higher payout for 2.5. So they're not allowing you to do 2.
Oh, I can go conservative, though, and still make a little scratch.
A little
not
scratch.
me, obviously.
Yes, not you.
No,
Not you.
Rantum.
Rantum.
My friend Rantum.
That's
can.
right.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's right.
I think I'll contact him as soon as I leave here, which will be very soon.
So 1.5 Baker TD passes.
On the road, yeah. I know his receiving core is still a little depleted. He might be getting a couple of guys back tonight. Yeah, I'll give him 1.5.
I'll take the 2.5.
You'll take the 2.5.
His depleted receiving core looked great last week.
That's
and
right.
The Lions secondary is in shambles.
That's right. One of the Johnsons that will do it for him. What else did you have, Kyle?
Well, we joked about this last week. I can't understand why Kenneth Walker is not better. So Kenneth Walker either is going to go for 150 yards or 15.
Man.
I don't understand why he's not basically Bijan Robinson. He was so amazing in college. He looks awesome on the Seahawks. So
they keep splitting him with Charbonnet.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I'm just going to take Kenneth Walker. I don't even know what the number is, but I'm just going to take over on Kenneth Walker. What is it? 49.5 rushing yards. 50 rushing yards. Come on, Kenneth Walker's got to get 50.
Gibbs burned everyone last week. I don't know what to do with the Lions offense, to be completely honest with you.
But you took Laporta.
No, I'm leaving Laporta because you took Laporta. This guy either is going to have 50 yards or 0 with Mike Evans coming back. Give me Cade Otton.
What is his position again?
Tight end.
Tight end. Yeah, I thought so. Maybe. Well, that wasn't predictable.
Give me Cade Otton.
Wow.
And if you're also feeling spicy, like Kyle said, the third receiver, my guy Sterling Shepard really does good work in these spots. All right.
Not your guy.
Schmallen's guy. Schmallen's guy.
Rantum and he'll
Also,
get together.
Amon-Ra receptions. Always take a look at that because he's just a receptions merchant.
I mean, how could we have this conversation and not bring up the guy who's been putting up crazy numbers? I know the Texans have a good defense. I'm not sure how healthy they are, but Jackson Smith and Jigba's been insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, Schmallen, we're leaving Laporta. We're both out on Laporta now because Amon-Ra's at 7 receptions. So I'm going to go over on 7 Amon-Ra receptions.
All right. Well, we are out on Laporta and in on the drive guys, Whitey Gleason and Phantom. So I know it's a shortened show, but what's coming up on it?
Well, if we have time, we got a lot to talk about with the 49ers and the Kings. But the mayor of Sacramento today declared Sacramento's in the running for a Major League Baseball expansion team.
Wow.
We knew that was coming. He talked about it openly today.
And it was that easy. He just had to declare it. And all
No,
of a sudden
it's
it's
actually,
happened.
we don't
That's
have
great.
it yet.
Okay,
We
we
don't
had a
actually have
team.
it.
Hey,
So
I'm
we're
there.
still working on it.
Is it going to be in the Thomas?
They haven't announced that yet. They haven't announced the stadium sites or an owner or how they'd pay for any of this, but we're in.
So this is like the Declaration of Independence. You still had to fight a war afterwards,
Sure.
but
Yeah.
Wow.
And how'd that work out, huh?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Last time I
Okay.
checked.
Adam knows.
All
He
right.
was. You.
We had to fight those Brits.
Yeah.
They were not easy. Good thing the French came over and helped us.
Well, I can't wait to listen to that. Yeah, big game 7 today.
Yeah.
You got a rooting interest, Mariners, Blue Jays.
I find myself pulling for Toronto. I know everybody is, those plucky Mariners, but I'm.
Is it because they'll beat the better chance to beat the Dodgers?
That's part of it, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Don't think it's going to happen either way, those dang Dodgers. Also, maybe tomorrow we might be talking about a new Giants coach.
Manager. We call him managers in baseball.
Well, he was a coach for Tennessee. Okay, so don't start with me. Whitey Gleason, Phantom, gotcha for the next 10 minutes. I'm kidding. It's about an hour, right?
About an hour, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you to Kyle Ledbetter. Thanks to all the callers, texters, sack chatters. And until tomorrow, let's get the bag. Like to be.
Don't forget my podcast.
Gotta go.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
On Sactown Sports 1140.